So we can start, and let's start with experience points. Also, Michael, you're not on roll 20 yet.
I'll get there. One sec.
Gustav, what are you buying?
I have 200. Let me pull up my sheet again.
Fucking hell.
210 XP. So I'm gonna get prepare poison. Oh, do we get to get things that we'd have to train for at this point, or
Yes, you can buy anything you want.
Okay, I'm gonna get prepare poison and speak language classical.
Something breaks slightly with you, Brian.
He said speak language classical.
Yeah, okay. Maybe something with the mic mix, I don't know.
I set my phone down right when I said
sure.
that. Prepare poison and speak language classical.
Okay, gotcha. Johannes, what about you?
I have 300 to spend.
Nice, that's a lot.
And so I would like to get drive, ride, and speak language Breton.
Wow, that's impressive. Of course, no problem. So
Okay.
drive a cart, ride a horse, and speak Bretonian. Gotcha. Gaston, what about you?
Okay, so we're buying skills, or it's just kind of like
you can buy anything you want.
Yeah, whatever.
You can buy anything you want. You can buy skills, talents. You can buy upgrades to stats.
Why don't you let me? I didn't realize we were doing that. Let me do a little research and
of course
I'll get back to you. Is that okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's you don't have to spend your points now. It's up to you. Sure. Do some research and let me know when you know.
Is speak language intelligence or fellowship?
Intelligence. I mean,
okay.
You don't usually test speak language. You just if you know how to speak it, you can speak it. But for example, if you want to speak it and pretend that you're a Bretonian, so you know the full French accent, then you will probably need to roll fellowship, I think. Something like that. Like if you would have speak language Breton plus 20%, so the biggest possible advancement, then we can assume that you are speaking it with an accent, that you're practically a native speaker. But basic means that you're speaking Bretonian, like I'm speaking English right now. So Lambert, what are you buying?
Same. I just got on here, and did I get experience, and how much experience did I get?
I mean,
you definitely did. I just don't remember the number.
150 XP each.
Yeah,
150 XP each. Yeah.
Man, that's second math. That's so 240. All right.
I think you said there was XP for things we did during the campaign that we would settle up this session.
Okay, then we should totally do this.
Then I am going to also do the same as Andrew and
just wait.
Look at it during the game.
Okay.
A bit.
No worries. Yeah. So and yes, Brian is right. I was supposed to give you XP for things that you did during this semi-campaign. It was not like a full campaign. It was like a very long scenario. So I will give it to you now. For starters, I will go probably character by character. So Brian, I will give you and someone please note, ideally the person that I'm talking about should know the XP. You get 10 points for striking talking smack to the captain outside of the Dankmar's house, 10 points for the whole action in the library with Corbinian Shrek. 20 points for traveling through the sewers, encountering ghouls, pale humanoids, of course. You don't have common knowledge on that yet. So, things like that. 10 points for securing the services of the of the poor rat catcher guy. I forgot his name completely. Dayon Eman.
We ended up getting lost anyway.
Yeah, but you did what you had to. Then you and Johannes exited the sewers and tried to find your way. 10 points for getting on good terms with Malgund, Witch Hunter Apprentice. And I also think that 20 points for storming the Golden Triangle Club with the rest of the troops, and taking part in the fight. And finally 20 points for storming the Dark Elf hideout in the northern part of the city. Is there something else that you think you should be getting points for? Realistically, of course. I think I've covered most of the things that you did, but I admit I may have omit something because as I said, this game was very long.
We get points for
give him points.
hitting the orb.
Yes, I was about to say, give him points for that.
Yeah, let's give you 50 points for that. That's a good call. Thank you.
Is it 15?
Yeah, 50.
5-0.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You did destroy the orb, or rather, not really destroyed, but hit it with the dagger, and because of that, the Dark Elves, well, they went kapoof.
Now we get to see if it hurt me at all.
Yeah.
I think we ended right after that.
Yes, that's when we ended. Johannes, because sorry, Brian, I think that's it for you. I believe. Yeah. And actually, for good role playing, with Marla, I will give you 5 points extra. Like this whole drama was pretty nice and created some interesting options. Let's just say, Johannes, for you.
Yeah.
You also get 20 points for the sewers. That's for sure.
Okay.
You get 20 points for storming Golden Triangle and storming the hideout of the Drukai. What's next? You were with Gustav when you met Madgun, so 10 points because you did good enough impression on her. And what else was there? You also spoke to Dayon in the first inn, not Shepherd's Wand, but the other one.
The Millers.
Millers.
The one-eyed Miller.
One-eyed Miller, thank you. Yeah, exactly that. One-eyed Miller. So I think that was 10 points for that.
Okay.
For the sewers, what was that? 20?
Gave me sewers already.
Okay, gave you sewers already. Nice. Something else that I may have omitted? Realistically speaking, of course. I know. Which one of you talked to the guards after you went outside the sewers and you entered the inn during the very rainy day?
I thought that was me.
I think that
was Sean.
Yeah, so you get 10 points for that because that was very well. It saved you a lot of trouble. Let's just say.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. If you think that there's something else, then please tell me.
Well, that's just it. I don't think I'm trying to think of anything else role play wise, and I mean, the only thing was it was really more of a actual role, telling that sorceress to suck it.
Okay.
but that wasn't role play, so.
Yeah, I mean that was good, but.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you can get 5 points for that. Let's just
Alright, cool.
let's give you 5. Lambert, you get 30 points for speaking to Dankmar after he slapped you, and I mean generally the whole Talking to
Whole murder.
Dankmar, yeah, roleplay. You get 50 points for being brave during the discovery of the massacre. You get 10 points for trying to knock to get some sense into Gustav when he when he broke with Marla, because I remember that Lambert was.
He's still wrong.
Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is. But what can you do? What can you do? And I really liked your interactions with Gaston, in Golden Triangle and outside of it. I will give you 10 points for that. Essentially, getting into Golden Triangle and doing all the sneaky, stabby stuff there. That was quite a lot. I think it warrants 30 XP. Actually, even 40, I think, because you went to the basement, then you went upstairs. You did this whole thing with the bookshelf that had secret entrance. That was very cool. You took part in the assault, in both assaults, so I'll give you 20 points for that. 20 points for that, so 2 times 20. And during the combat, you were pretty ingenious with this whole drop pants thing. I can also give you 5 points for that extra.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
Fastest fingers in Reichland.
yeah.
That's some halfling poo right there.
Good thing that you haven't botched while doing so. I'll just say.
That poor guy.
Something else that I've forgotten?
No, man, you covered it pretty well there.
Okay. Oh, sorry. One more thing. 10 points for the whole situation with the kids. Bringing the street urchins together, giving them food, and sending them on a mission.
Lambert's eyes.
Yeah, Lambert's eyes. Very, 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 very nice name. So 10 points for that. Gaston. You, of course, you get 2 times 20 points for both assaults. You get 10 points for interacting with the Reichsguard in a civilized manner. I was almost sure that there will be some, dick swinging, who's the better knight, stuff like that. So that's it. You get 10 points for interacting with during the situation when Lambert found his massacred family. I remember that you. I think that you were talking to Marla or that you were talking to the soldiers there. I don't remember exactly, but I know that you did something, so this warrants 10 points for sure. You get 30 points in for fighting your way out of Golden Triangle, especially the final fight near the guard booth when you tried to go through the door. That was pretty funny. So, without you, Lambert would probably not be able to get out alive. I'm pretty sure about this. And in general, Gaston was very good at fighting. So, for all the combat-oriented situation, I will give you 15 points extra. Is there something else that I have forgotten?
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
Gaston's-
sorry. And one more thing, 10 points total for actually being civilized and decent to the people that are really not from your social class. At the inn, to your comrades, not one of them is, is a noble, is from nobility, and you still manage to, not to act like a dick. Even though that would be very much in character, yes, but that's a nice change from your usual Bretonnian knight who's I'm better than everyone else, fuck you, stuff. So yeah, so I think that's that. So these are extra points for all of you guys for different things during the this adventure, and again you can spend them whenever you want. Lambert and Gaston, remember that you don't have to spend your points now. So next time when you do, you can also buy anything you want, because now we have the time skip. So even if you want to buy something from outside of your career, you can do that. Just remember that every single skill and talent bought from other careers from the outside is 200 points each, not 100 points.
In that case, I will. Is buying a specialist weapon group considered a learning thing?
Yes, because you need to train with that.
All right. In that case, over the course of the break, I'm going to go ahead and spend my XP because I've got a fuckload in the bank. I don't like seeing big numbers on there. I like it to be pretty small. So I'm going to pick up a wound.
Okay.
I'm going to bring my toughness up to 40.
Nice.
Ooh.
Halfling with toughness 40. That's no joke.
And
What's your weapon skill at?
I'm going to my weapon skill is at 45.
That's actually
Wow.
pretty good. Wow.
My ballistic skill is 50.
Oh, it's even better.
And I'm going to pick up specialist weapons group gunpowder.
Gunpowder. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Remember also that you, first of all of you are on full heal, so just remember that. And if you had any critical wound effects, they are no longer there.
Hey, I'm no longer scratching myself.
Yeah, you are no longer scratching yourself. Brian, you have a, you are also full healed, stuff like that. And now, first of all, today's session will probably be something akin to, those of you who know, Delta Green's in between operations session. But it's actually rather important because it will work as an intro to our next adventure. I already have in mind what I want to present.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do like some small sessions between.
No, this will be the only small session in between.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Next time.
When do we plan to come back, or is that still in the head?
No. I mean, as I said, I will need to take a break in January next year.
Yeah.
Until then, I'm available.
Okay.
After that, we shall see. But I don't intend to go away, so don't worry. Unless you want me to, in that case. Well.
No. I figure we'll probably just get on Steam, play some games or something.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. So right after the battle, the nameless battle, because this conflict was never known to the wider Altdorf society. Those of you who were able to walk by yourselves managed to get outside on the street. Some of you needed to be
Airlifted.
Yeah, carried by others. For example, Gustav took a horrible blow to his shoulder. Johannes and Gaston, you saw that, that his bone was essentially visible. Tendons, glistening red, stuff like that. He was in shock, so he didn't really screamed or did anything. And by the way, Gustav, when he was laid right next to Lambert, who by the way still had the crossbow bolt sticking from his head, it seemed like he wasn't even here. He was just looking into the sky and mumbling something about dark ships and stormy waters, saying so many we can't win. Johannes, you don't know where and by whom you were seated on the ground, but one of the witch hunters' followers, there were so few of them left after the battle, almost not a quarter, 3/4 of them have fallen to the bolts and blades of the Dark Elves. One of them removed the bolt from your ribs, in a rather straightforward manner, so you yelped in pain. The man in question, by the way, he looked more like a barroom brawler than a healer. But Johannes, when he started applying bandages to your wound, you saw that on his arms, there were those numerous tattoos, and of course most of them were Sigmarite in fashion, twin-tailed comets, hammers, skulls, stuff like that. But there was this very small but very nicely made tattoo of a dove holding an olive branch in her. In its beak, symbol of Shalia. Gaston, meanwhile, you were approached as you all left the building by Preceptor Kunibald Fellenbach. Those race guards who took part in the assault with you fared mostly well. Their dwarf forged plate armor stopped most of the bolts and blows from the blades of the corsairs, even though two of them were killed and Fernbach himself was lightly wounded. He removed his helmet. Gaston, you can see that the young man looks at you, and there's something that wasn't there before, a clear sign of respect. Because of course he respected you because of your station as a noble, but there's no it's no surprise that there's usually rivalry between Imperial and Bretonnian knights, and he offers you his hand without the armored glove. "You stood well, Bretonnian," he says. "I must admit, I had my reservations, but you fought like a man possessed, if you don't mind me saying so."
Don't mind.
Do you shake his hand, or do you leave him hanging?
Yeah, I'll shake it in.
Yeah, you shake each other's hands in the manner of warriors, so wrist to wrist. And Fernbach says, "After today, if me and my brothers will need any assistance, I know who I'm going to call. If you don't, sorry, no, actually, he's not saying this again.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, and he essentially says that you do your country justice. And by the way, he really means that. There's no mockery here. Yeah. By the way,
It's like you're pretty good for a snail eater.
yeah, something like that. Because Gaston, you and all of the race guard, you are just covered in blood and grime. The Sigmarites too, but given that they look like a ragtag band of mercenaries, that's not very surprising. This whole new crimson shade on your plate armor is, it's definitely something. And yeah, that's how the battle ended. The next few days were a rush. Johannes, Gustav, and Lambert, you were taken by the Altdorf troops that arrived soon after to the Great Temple, and then you were given the best care possible. Lambert, the bolt was removed from your head, but it still took you 2 full days to actually regain consciousness. And by that I mean that you were conscious all the time. You just weren't able to say anything or do anything. It's like this what's it called when you sleep? Sleep paralysis, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you actually felt them removing the bolt, and you saw this elderly, wrinkly, healer, Sigmarite healer, saying, "Well, yes. Now we just need to wait and pray to Lord Sigmar that this halfling will recover. Although head wounds, as you gentlemen know, are usually a very serious thing. Yes, very serious. Even if he recovers, he may become a cretin, for example, constantly pissing himself and or drooling."
Oh, you mean so like he normally is?
Yeah. Funny enough, when you did woke up, when you did return to your old self, Lambert, you've noticed in the coming weeks a few things. First of all, of course, were the migraines and split headaches. They were not constant, but they were, regular enough for you to probably be in a rather foul mood. There were problems, yes, with holding your bladder, so to speak, but only for a few days, and you had those wild mood swings. However, after like a month, maybe month and a half, everything returned to normal. The only souvenir left is this nice looking scar on your forehead from when the bolt lodged itself. Johannes, you recovered in the fastest way possible. The first of all your cameras to recover, and you were discharged by the temple medics to return to Shepherd's Wand.
Okay. I will on my way out. Can I just donate 2 shillings to the temple and pray to thank Sigmar for sparing me?
Of course. It's actually even they even actually expected you to do this because when you were getting away, there was this young cleric with a small wooden bowl, offering bowl. He's not saying anything. He just presented it to you and bowed his head low. So I guess you just gave 2 shillings and and went away. That said, when you were leaving the temple, you were stabbed by Malgund, who was also bandaged rather heavily. She got wounded, not wounded as badly as her master Klinger. Actually collapsed when he left the Drukai building. But you can see that Margund is also recovering. She says, I bear orders from my master. And she says very slowly because she's also clearly in pain. You must return to the inn and stay there. Do not talk to anyone about what happened near the walls of the city.
Okay.
You will be
I can do that.
properly debriefed later when your friends also join you, she says.
Okay.
And with that, she nodded slightly, she slapped you on the back, and as she did so, she hissed in pain because, as I said, she was wounded, and she, went her own way. Gustav, you actually spent the longest, except for Lambert, the longest time in the temple infirmary. That said, you were cared for by the best, probably some of the best physicians in Altdorf. The physicians in question actually told you that you were very lucky not to lose your entire arm. A few inches more, and the saber, the horribly wicked barbed weapon that wounded you would almost certainly remove your entire arm and perhaps even went further into your ribcage. So they did all they could to save it, and save it they did. However, it took weeks for you to fully recover even the most basic usage of your arm.
I've been reading about this injury too.
yeah. When you said that, when you told them that you were yourself a learned man and a man of, who practiced healing, they didn't have any problems giving you books and treatises about wounds and how to heal them. Maybe even some illnesses if you preferred. You're not sure, but you guess that Grand Temple of Sigmar had probably thousands of tomes, or hundreds of tomes about medicine alone. Although some of them were probably used, by the many interrogators downstairs to know exactly. So they knew exactly what kind of damage due to those found guilty of heresy, like our good friend Everard Harstein, that was never seen again or heard again. No one knew what happened to him, if the witch hunters killed him, burned him on a stake, or if he's in fact still in the dungeons under the Grand Cathedral of Sigmar, in some small dingy cell, without any light and with barely just a bowl of water and some stale bread
Dick butt.
It's too good for him, I tell you.
Yeah.
He should be burned at the stake.
Although you guess that, if anything, he probably was killed. But there was no public execution. Remember that Everard
It's a
was a very important figure, and the Empire is still recovering from the war, and that's probably why Lambert and Gustav, when you returned to Shepherd's Wand, and Gaston, you as well, that's why you were all told, also, not to speak to anyone about what happened. Not yet. You were all discharged rather quickly, even Lambert and Gustav. When I said that it took you a long time to recover, I meant that you were able to recover at home, because every day medics from the Grand Cathedral appeared at Shepherd's Wand and tended to your wounds, changed dressings, stuff like that. Of course, to the rather silent awe of everyone, of all the patrons inside, because the medics were always escorted by a group of temple guards, grim men armed with great warhammers and half-plate armor. And so, maybe after about 2 weeks, you all meet at Shepherd's Wand. Johannes, you were there first. The inn,
Getting drunk.
as it turns out, is still standing, even though there was, in fact, the very day that you foiled the Drukai plans, there was an attack on it. Everard apparently sent some men to burn the place down. Marla told you that, but because the witch hunter, on your request, sent some men to guard this place, the bandits, the hoodlums sent by Harstein were repelled. The men from the temple did not. They just scared them away, or rather fought some of them away, killed a few, but they didn't pursue. However, later it turns out that in nearby side streets, every single one of those criminals, or those ne'er-do-wells was found. A few long arrows with black feathers sticking from their throats and backs. Good riddance, I would say. You all meet in your room, probably, after 2 weeks.
I'll give Marla a hug when I see her.
She also hugs you back, but you can see that this whole thing probably took some toll on her as well. She clearly has trouble sleeping, her eyes are sunken, her skin pale, and her hair, normally the beautiful long golden locks, are now slightly, unkempt. She hugs every single one of you, except you, Gaston, because, well, you're a knight, and she's not sure if she can do that.
And it hurts to hug somebody in full plate.
Probably. So you all sit down in your room. Well, actually, this is the room of Johannes, Gustav, Lambert, and Marla, because Gaston still has his own room, as fits his station. And tell me, what do you do? The inn is fine, by the way. It's still full of customers. It's, the business is going strong. It's booming, actually. Especially now after the Crimson Shade epidemic apparently finally ceased. The city returns to normal, except for the still huge number of refugees that continues to grow.
I say, Johannes says, I don't know about you fellas, but I think we deserve to celebrate another day being alive. How about some good food and drink?
I think I lost about 20 pounds.
That is true. You can see that Lambert is very thin.
All right. We. Go ahead.
uh, send the guy up. I'm just gonna ramble, and I don't really care how much it costs me.
Well, we eat for free here anyway. But what I was gonna say is, I believe that we should order every pie on the menu
Oh
and a
fuck.
cask of brandy.
Oh fuck. I never thought I would become a sword swallower, but I'll do it for you.
Okay, deal. I will send somebody to get it, or I will go downstairs since I am probably the least. Well, actually,
Injured.
I guess Gaston is the least fucked up, but anyway. I will go downstairs and order every
but
pie
who's
on the
gonna-
menu and a
who-
and a. I
Who
guess
in the
it's
right
not
mind would tell Gaston to carry food?
No, I wouldn't tell him to carry food. I was just saying that I will go down as the least injured, but Gaston is least injured. That's all I was trying to say. I'm the least injured out of those of us who will do menial tasks like order food.
Sure. Yeah, you can also see that, for example, Gustav has his arm in this rather elaborate sling, and he clearly can't really use it like at all. So he only has one arm that is usable. Lambert, since this is like 2 weeks after, his face twitches constantly. Like, you can't control it, Lambert. You're just you have those tics, nervous like tics that you are unable to do anything about. Johannes, you when you got up from the bed, you hissed in pain and instinctively grabbed your ribs because the wound dealt by the crossbow bolt is still there.
Yeah. Well,
Actually,
no, I recently had a muscle injury, but in the muscles between my ribs, and it's essentially getting up, sitting down, turning, lying down. Everything
yeah,
hurts.
it sucks. Yeah, it sucks horribly. I know. I also had this like few times. It's you can't do really anything.
Right.
Every time you move, you just hiss in pain.
But I can order pie and brandy.
Yeah, and Johannes, by the way, when you were in the infirmary of the Great Cathedral, the healer told you that you were also very lucky. If the bolt would penetrate further, you would probably be dead. Your lung would just be pierced by this weapon. And that's that. So Sigma really smiled upon you. When you go downstairs, Johannes, there are quite a few of the patrons. You already recognize them. The locals, so to speak, mostly dock workers and menial workers. People from nearby who like to frequent this place because the food is actually pretty good and the prices are decent. They know that they smile. It's like you feel like you're starting to become part of this neighborhood, perhaps, that people already recognize you. One of the men even approaches you, this burly-looking dock worker guy who, if you would meet him during night, you'd probably think that he wants to mug you, but now in a very nice voice, so to speak, completely not fitting his postures, he offers to buy you a drink, a beer.
I will say, thank you, my good man.
Well, anything for the heroes of Shepherd's Want, he says.
Well, we all played our part in helping to save our beloved inn and our city.
And he just nods vigorously and buys you the beer. He actually, you can see that he pays a bit more so that the tavern girl standing behind the counter gets some tip. The girl pours you the beer, and when you tell her what you want, she of course tells you that it can be doable, but she when you turn around to return to your room, because they will bring the food there, the brandy there, everything, she grabs you by the arm and she she wants to ask you a question. I'm sorry, Master Johannes, but do you know what happened to Master Finron? He never returned.
Really?
No, we are actually working Well, we, I mean, Frau Bruna Baumstein, the most senior of us, is taking care of things, but even she is not sure how long this will be possible. We didn't got any instructions. Do you know anything?
Um, no, I'm quite shocked that he has not returned. I will discuss it with my compatriots.
Please do. We are not sure how to, well, how to act further. I mean, we have the names of all of our suppliers and you know, bakers, butchers, stuff like that, and we have the funds to still run this place, but we're not sure how we should proceed. If you could please talk to the rest of your esteemed group, we would be very, very grateful.
Yes, we will make sure at the very least that we keep this place running for when Finrun returns.
Thank you, she says, and you can see that, you know, that she's not so worried anymore like she was before. She's a young girl, you know, probably like 15, 16 years old, so almost a kid. You return to the room. Please go on.
I mean, I'll take over.
Well, first, Johannes would probably have to say what's going on.
No, nothing happened. So I say, guys, I can't believe it. Finron hasn't returned. His employees are worried about him. Marla, do you know anything?
Marla looks at you. No, I don't. I haven't seen him in weeks, and when the attack occurred, we barricaded the doors and windows. We were hoping that he would come back, but he didn't. Fortunately, those temple men saved us. But I haven't seen Finron ever since.
I mean, he is an elf. Did he go back to elf land?
Well, but why would he? This is his business. He runs it successfully. People know him, says Marla, and it apparently brings him good coin. I mean, I've talked to the staff about our funds. They are very significant for an inn, even as well run as this. I don't know where the Elflands are, but I can imagine that traveling there from the Empire probably costs quite a lot. He didn't took even a single penny when he left.
Oh well, question for another day.
As long as we get to eat for free, who cares?
Yeah, eat first. Worry about friend after.
Yeah, and as you say that, the door opens and you know the staff brings the pies, the brandy, sausages, everything that you can wish for, proper food because you were all. I mean, Gaston, you were probably the first here, given that you weren't wounded at all. But the rest of you, when you were staying at the temple and you know being taken care of, the food there was good, but it was very plain and very healthy, if you know what I mean.
Hospital food is what you're saying.
Yeah, hospital food, but you know, Renaissance
mashed potatoes and pudding.
Well, actually, probably not even that. I can imagine, you know, steamed vegetables, dark bread, some herbal drinks, probably, maybe, you know, a bit of spiced wine.
I feel like lots of
evenings.
gruel because
that's
kind of a universal thing you get when you're
when you're in
sick.
hospital. Yeah, gruel, some, you know, of course, cabbage and buckwheat. So
much of the day.
Yeah, so returning to proper food is honestly all of you just start to, you know, to wolf it down. I can imagine. So, if you want to, of course, discuss anything along the way, Gustav, for example, remember that you are wounded, but you can speak. Then by all means. If not, then tell me.
I mean, did we have any?
Sorry, Brian, you are muted, by the way.
Maybe he stepped away.
Okay, maybe step away. All right, sorry.
Yeah, maybe
Ignatius.
something came
Yeah,
up.
sorry. I said I'm kind of somber right now. That I don't think it's any time to celebrate
Okay.
all the lives that were lost that could have been saved.
My God.
Look,
But
we
you
beat the
are
war on
not
drugs.
dead.
Okay, we won the war on drugs. Drink
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
Okay. I declared
Exactly.
the war on drugs, and we won.
Yeah.
Done.
Praise the lady.
You're welcome.
Praise
Um,
Phineas, praise Randall. I'll say them out loud. Fuck it. You know, praise Quinsbury. It's all good. Drugs are no longer a thing.
You made Altdorf great again. Congratulations.
Yeah, I say, well, way to be a
And
downer
Altdorf's-
there.
And Altdorf's
Downer there,
balls
Gustav.
grew 10 times that day.
Yeah. Yes, many lives were lost, but think of all the lives that were saved. And our fair city, the capital of our glorious empire, free of I was going to say Xeno scum, but that's the wrong.
Yeah. Well, you can say non-human scum, but I think Lambert will probably have a thing or
Well, he
two.
knows. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah. He's the tolerated.
Glad you're
minority.
all comfortable with being killers now.
I've always been comfortable. I don't. This
Yeah,
is
I
nothing.
was going to say.
I scratched my
talking
beard
about-
that I clearly haven't shaved since the day of the riots.
I mean,
Your one hair.
yeah, your pedo stash is looking real good there, bud.
Yeah, I'd have to draw a new one. It's scruffy right now, but I might shave it, so I'll just wait.
Add a mullet and you're all set. I would say. Yeah. Well,
He needs a past blue ribbon trucker hat.
yeah. What was that saying? Business up front, DEFCON 3 at the back, right?
Yeah.
In my head, mullets are actually very common in the old world. Like if it was conceived in the late 70s, early 80s, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely. Like, that's the imperial hairstyle. So
I would say that probably in provinces like Talabekland or the more rural provinces, I would say
Averland
that
or something.
yeah, Averheim. Sorry, Averland. Averheim is a city. Averland, yeah,
Andrew, I don't
absolutely.
see a lot of mullets down here. Do you see mullets in Alabama that often?
It just depends on where you go, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
mean,
like they're
I'm
like
sure you
making
gotta
a
go
come.
Out in fucking.
They're like making a comeback though, just in general. Like people just have mullets now, like because they think it's like funny, you know.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's like everything else, that things come back in
Right.
fashion, so to speak. So it's a thing. I mean, was it you guys? We were sharing those pictures of the kids who won the mullet contest or whatever.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, and I've seen like a few years back. I think when I was still working at the school, there were a couple kids who had full on like rocking mullets.
Yeah.
Like our parents chose to have that for them.
The parents said, "This is a good idea."
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought that mullets were like a thing from the 80s, MacGyver.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Things like that. Dolph Lundgren, I think, had a mullet in a few of his movies.
Yeah.
I think some people are trying to be so far ahead of the curve that they just have mullets because it's ironic now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, I was gonna say,
I'm going to be the first one.
if you're at NASCAR, there's probably a lot more mullet to non-mullet
I
ratio.
mean, there's a lot more just everything in a NASCAR thing.
That's this weekend. Or that's today.
Yeah, it's today. But
Talladega.
Well,
I had a friend in Dago that wanted to get a game in today. I was like, no. I ain't putting up with traffic.
Well, anyway, you are finishing the meal. Drinking the last of the of the brandy. You are all sitting around this table in the room of Gustav, Johannes, Lambert, and Marla. You survived, even though not without, wounds both to your bodies and to your minds. When I say to your bodies, I mainly look at Gustav. When I say to your minds, I mainly look at Lambert.
Like a literal. Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah. No. I actually didn't mean the crossbow. I meant more like your family, stuff like that. But interpret this however you want, of course.
Yeah. Not just the gray matter.
Yeah. Outside, you can hear, Altdorf just being Altdorf. People are arguing, herring, of course. You can hear temple bells in the distance. Not the grand temple, but probably one of the smaller chapels to one of the many gods of order worshipped in the Empire. Perhaps Sigmar, perhaps Tau or Raya or Shalia or foreign Myrmidia. And when the day is done, you probably all you are all too exhausted to do anything else, and you all go to bed early. Next day, from sorry, you were saying something, Andy?
That wasn't me.
Okay, sorry. Next
Do
day.
the I might ask some patrons if anyone knows if the Sea Elves have an embassy in Altdorf, or like where it would be.
Roll me gossip test plus 20%.
I'm gonna say, why don't I see that? Oh, there it is.
Wait a second.
My fellowship is 44.
You've passed. Let me see. Oh wow, it's
41 points.
You've passed. So when you talk to the to the patrons here, you've they were like, sea elves with what, like they are elves living underwater? Yeah, sounds like them. I think they can do that, but no, we don't know where the sea elf embassy is, but like
That's what we call them back home in Marienburg. They're probably just elves to you.
Oh, and like the sixth patron, actually one of a rather young man who looks like he's from academia, glasses and all, and he's even dressed like a student in this long dark robe. He says, actually, you are probably talking about Saphirian Embassy, the permanent embassy of the Kingdom of Utuan, of the Utuani Kingdom of Saphir to the Empire. Yes, actually, you can find it in the... Sorry, what?
Somebody punch this nerd.
Yeah. Actually, you can find it in the Turmgarten district, also called the Elven Quarter. I'm sure that you don't know that, so I wanted to tell you. Yes, even though it is actually mainly inhabited by men, funnily enough. Yes.
I'm gonna shove all of your chess pieces up your butt.
So you can, because you see, sir, there are no sea elves in the Empire. This is your Marienburg secessionist invention. Yes.
No. Somebody spike his drink.
Yeah, but he actually told you how to get there. It's in the Turmgarten district.
Yeah, but he didn't have to be so fucking annoying about it.
Yeah. Actually,
I tip my hat with my left hand and just kind of look at him strangely. He did help, but he's a jerk.
Yeah, he's a real asshole. You can say that.
Hey guys, I've been taking notes. I gotta take a break for a second to use the restroom.
No worries.
Be right back.
Do we want to take a quick 10?
Yeah. Let's take a quick 10 and
All right.
we'll be right back.
Great.
All right.
Yeah. Did we take a break?
Yeah, they said they were going to take a 10-minute break.
All right. Well, then
Luckily, I was
I'll go
still
get
on.
some. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back then.
All right.
How are you guys doing in old Alabama? Uh-oh, you're gone too? All right. Everybody's gone.
Oh, damn it.
Yep.
I dropped a very small piece.
Ah,
That's all right.
that always sucks ass.
Well, it's not 100. It's not necessary, but it kind of would be nice. to have it. Can I fit that on there without that?
Mhm.
Why does this have to be?
Yeah.
Can you keep like a little pen flashlight at your desk and just lay it on the ground, and the shadow the thing creates will, like, reveal it? That's the trick I've always used.
This is a carpeted room, and I'm very lazy.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm not great at vacuuming during a project.
so take off your shoes and stomp around until you hurt yourself, and then you'll
Well,
find.
I'm going to do that pretty quick. Oh, shit, is that? No, that's not it. Fuck. The fuck is... Nope, that's not it.
No, it's do a lot of speed and then lie down on the floor
And just
and
inhale.
search for hours.
Inhale until you choke.
Focus your mind.
Did it stick onto something? There it is.
Yay!
It was the, like, there's two parts to the smoke launchers on a Baneblade kit, and one is, like, the actual mount part. And I'm like, why can't this just be one piece?
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I'm sure somebody will tell you that it has
hate
to do with the
people can go fuck themselves.
casting process. You can't cast that as one piece. Blah blah blah.
I don't care about 100% of detail. You just give me the fucking part.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, I need those. At least I want to at least get the tank together. I can do the sponsons another day. To that, can I put that there? That might go there. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Actually, no, I've got tank bits. So my wife got me some very good mead for my birthday, which I'm going to enjoy
cool.
now. One of those Dansk Viking blood things.
Oh. I don't know anything about it. Sounds good though.
It's mead with hops.
Interesting.
A little bit bolder flavor.
Yeah.
So what's up with you guys?
What's up with us? Nothing much.
Yeah. Nothing much. All right. Well, shit. You're just shutting me down each time. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it's just I did some more pistol training yesterday. That was fun.
Fun.
Yeah. Got
With
to
what?
shoot the laser whatever room, stimulation room.
Okay, so not an actual pistol.
No, I did that too. But just part of it was like, hey, come check out our simulation room. And
Why are you doing training?
Just to not be a total dumbass with a pistol.
Okay.
I mean, so essentially what's happened is I never really shot much until like maybe like a year, maybe almost 2 years ago now. I keep on saying a year, but it's been a while. And so at first I was shooting a lot, like once a week and then once every 2 weeks. And then I kind of, got busy with shit and wasn't shooting anymore. So, yeah, but so, I taught myself, a bunch of stuff, but, I was like, you know what, for this coming year, I was like, I'm going to actually get some training because right now I'm just going and, blasting off 100 rounds and being like, wow, I still suck.
Yeah, man, I'm so cool.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So I was just like, it would be nice to, kind of like get some tips and maybe have like some kind
Look
of
a little competent.
Yeah, well, and have like some point to training other than just I shot 100 rounds would be, which
I mean, I'm the kind of guy that likes to go out to the woods and just shoot shotguns. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I find shooting relaxing. Funnily enough.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I get it.
so yeah, so that's all, and so it was just like oh, it's like so the I knew what I was supposed to be doing with the mechanics of gripping the pistol, just not actually doing it the correct way.
Yeah.
So that kind of shit, just like little tips, like oh, I'm squeezing it too hard with my fingies,
Yeah, you need
and
to
I
press
need
it
to
like a lever.
yes, and I need to
Show it you
squeeze
care.
it like an apple between my palms. That kind of bullshit. He also, and then every instructor. I've had two different instructors now because I did the like the you have never picked up a gun before class, and that was fun because I looked like a fucking rock star in that one. And then
Sean
this,
Wick.
You're just taking amateur classes just to look good.
no, well, actually, that wasn't my intent. My intent mostly was like, I'm sure there's something that I don't know.
I did
Yeah,
that.
if you weren't ever like officially trained, or like if you just picked up bits and pieces, and that's all your basis of shooting, I can see that being
Well,
helpful. Like to
Well,
get a
I
and
ground
also,
tutorial.
I also didn't want to be that guy who's like, well, I've been shooting, so I don't really need to take this beginner's course.
My
I'm just
wife,
like,
my wife's friend wanted to go take this cooking class, and my
Huh.
wife, my wife is terrified of getting burned, so she was like, "You go with her." Little did I know this was like a couples or singles thing, so they assumed that we were a couple, so that was fun. Um,
Cool.
and then they were like, it was all amateur,
Uh-huh.
so I'm in there just kicking ass.
Yeah, that's pretty good,
It's like,
doesn't
why the hell are you here? It's short-term memory.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just it. And so like yesterday's class, uh, like I was the only one who could qualify at 15 yards. Like, okay,
Jesus Christ,
yeah. Well,
that's it.
it essentially, yeah, because this again, this is like you know nothing. I'm gonna teach you from the ground up how to aim a gun.
I am a
And then
ball
it
of
was,
clay.
and then they were like, okay, I need you to hit 80% of these 10 shots in the regular sort of oblong thing at
Grouping
3
thing,
yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards. I was like, okay. So bang bang bang. Okay, next one. Bang bang bang. Like, all right. And like the first one, the 3 yard one, he was like, "Did you shoot 10 rounds?" I'm like, "Yeah," because it only looked like maybe 5. I was like, I guess I'm hitting through the same holes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, come on, 3 yards, fuck that. Then he was like, okay, I got a new one for you. At 3 yards, just hit the A on this. I was like, okay. So,
Everyone's here, by the way.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't fuck with
Jordan,
me for
I'm
3 yards
Andrew,
away from me, guys. Just so you know.
Okay. Brian, you were saying something?
I don't know if Andrew's here.
I'm
Andrew?
here. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
chewing on a sandwich.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. All right, so
Kind of sandwich.
Roast beef.
All right.
Ooh.
sounds good. Sounds good. Roast beef. I have a lot of Korean food at my house. My wife is going to delegation tomorrow, and she made me like 3
Nice.
whole Korean courses. She's huge into her Korean phase right now. So
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The K-pop
Sounds
is
good.
No,
in
Korean
your
food phase, not K-pop.
Okay,
Stuff.
okay.
No.
You said Korean phase. I was
Not,
like, the K-pop
not
is
K-pop,
bumping in your
not Korean
house.
culture. No, only food.
You got a BTS cutout in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mochi and stuff like that. Well, I
gonna
think
say,
that's more,
well, no, you
more
can watch all
Japanese
these
thing.
cool-
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. My wife watches enough Chinese dramas in the background that I'm starting to pick it up by osmosis.
Yeah.
I'm osmosis jonesing the Chinese language.
That's the best way, honestly.
Yeah. Sean, can you speak Chinese or not?
Not very well anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, I can. I took. Well, essentially, I took all the way through year 2 of Mandarin in college. I took 1/4 of Mandarin 3 and was like, yeah, I kind of want to graduate in 5 years.
Okay.
So I graduated in 4 years and 1/4. But I was like, yeah, if I'm going to like keep on going with Chinese, I'm gonna have a hard time like doing the science and math shit that I have to do.
I can say the things that my mother-in-law says occasionally
Yeah.
when we know that Duncan can't hear and we're not happy about something he's done. Uh, Ni Jiga Xiao Huan Dan. It's like you little bastard, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that's you learn curse words and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we've learned to curb that real fast because one of Duncan's first words has been pigu.
Yeah, there you go.
And what's Pigu?
Ass.
Oh, right.
But
Okay. Gotcha.
Togo P. Which is smelly dog fart, and apparently it's very vulgar.
Maybe I should learn Cathayan.
Cafe, probably, yeah. There is little cafe in Altdorf, so you can do that. Anyway, you all,
It's just like 3 cat cafes.
yeah. You all probably went to bed early. Actually, I need to quickly see.
Yeah, so Gustav was pumping the
Pumping
regulars for
Yeah.
news embassy, an elven embassy.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm
question
kind of
becomes-
concerned about Gunrun, so
but he's not. Is he an Ulthuan or is he an Athelloran?
no. It was supposedly Ufuani.
Okay.
Embassy. Yeah.
yeah, we talked about that once. I think he said something.
So
okay.
yeah, Saffron Embassy is located in Tombgarten, in the so-called, also called Elven Quarter. And you probably were never there, honestly. You would know that. I mean, Gustav's very familiar with Marienburg's Elven Quarter, which is probably the largest like elven district in all of the old world. I would say that you probably know that, Gustav. You also know that at least in Marienburg, they govern themselves. They have their own laws, including dispensing justice if something happens to one of their number. You're not, of course, sure if similar system works in the Empire, right? But anyway, you all went to bed. I would guess early, because of the exhaustion, the wounds, recovery, stuff like that. By the way, during the evening you were cheers. You were, of course, visited by the physicians who took care of your dressings, stuff like that. And when's very early morning, actually just right after dawn, Gaston and the three of the rest of you, Gustav, Johannes, and Lambert, you are being woken up by people knocking at your door rather vigorously. Gaston, do you get up, or do you maybe tell them to go away because you want to sleep?
Get up,
All right.
and grab my sword, and walk to the door.
You grab the sword, open the door, and you see that there's a man who, well, he looks like a city guard. Certainly the blue and red livery and, steel plate helmet on his head suggests so. He looks at you nervously because, well, you are an imposing figure. He actually even, presents himself like almost saluting to you. And he says, Seth Gaston Larue?
Yes.
On behalf of the Witch Hunter Captain Günther Klinger, I am to escort you to the Grand Cathedral of Sigmar. If you would be so kind and to dress yourself appropriately, I'll be waiting downstairs, he says, like I said, rather nervously. I have to make
Have you
sure that
spoke-
you travel there safely.
Have you spoke with my comrades?
And, he points to his right, and if you take a peek, or to your left, actually, because, he's right, your left, you can see that there are 2 more guards vigorously knocking at the door of your comrades. I think we have discovered Sir Gaston, says the young guard. Now,
All right.
yes, as I said, I'll be waiting downstairs. You can sense that he really wants to tell you to hurry up, but you also know that he won't. So he just nods sheepishly and goes downstairs. I presume, Gaston, that you dress yourself up and follow, or if you want to do something else, of course, please tell me.
Yeah, I'll put stuff on, and actually I'm gonna stop within the room with everyone else. So I'll walk down with everyone else.
Okay, so when you dress yourself up, meanwhile, Lambert, Johannes, Gustav, and Marla, you also hear this rather hard knocking on the door. Even if you guys were sleeping, or maybe you were just waking up, because, like I said, you went to beds earlier. It's very, very early, and the knocking is very invasive. It's like this, wham, 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 wham.
I'll get up and be like, "What?"
You open the door and you say, "What?"
Yeah.
When you open the door, "What?" You see 2 Altdorf city guards, halberds and all. They're actually leaning on them as they are.
Fuck, are they getting a halberd in the side the inn?
Yeah, that's funny enough, right? They are leaning on them as they are knocking vigorously on the door. They look at you. Those 2 are slightly older than the one knocking at Gaston's door. And so they both look at you in this rather, maybe not unpleasant way, but definitely not friendly. The older one, who has a graying mustache, says, "We are here to escort you to the Grand Cathedral of Sigmar on the orders of Witch Hunter Captain Günther Klinger. Please, you and your comrades, dress yourselves up, and fast. We'll wait downstairs. We have to make sure that you travel there safely," he says.
Yes, of course.
"Thank you." And with that, he tipped touched the edge of his helmet in this, like in American movies, they touch the edges of the cowboy hats.
He tips his hat to Milady.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And he and his comrade went downstairs. Actually, yeah, the halberds are rather impractical. They've actually left small furrows in the ceiling above them.
Fuckers.
Yeah, scraping.
Bill the city for it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna get their badge numbers and
Yeah.
complain to their superior officer.
But they have body cams, so you don't have anything on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Marla.
My middle name is Karen.
Yeah, Marla looks at you. Johannes, she wipes her eyes. She's like, "Who was that? It's like early in the morning."
Oh, nobody. Just the city guard.
Oh.
Or sorry, the state soldiers of Altdorf.
"Oh, great. Tell them to fuck off," she says. "I want to go back to sleep."
Yeah, well, you can go back to sleep. I think the rest of us have to go though. Why don't you wake up Gustav, and I'll get Lambert.
Sure.
I'm not in the bed with her. I don't think.
No, you're not. You have separate beds right now.
Well, but I still tell her.
So she wakes you
We'll
up,
wake 'em
Gustav.
gently.
and it's not very pleasant. I mean, she simply shakes your arm very hard and says, "Gustav, get up, get up. The city watch is here for you."
Oh no!
I have a knee-jerk reaction to that, and my eyes.
She's
Good
like,
stuff. They found out.
she's like, no, no, not in that way. No, I mean, Johannes, you tell him. And by the way, I'm going with you as well.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you didn't have to go, but that's fine.
Yeah, well,
More the merrier.
of course, she
Uh.
says. And you wake up Lambert, who, by the way, when you woke him up, he did this very strange grimace. Like, Lambert, you weren't controlling that, but you made this, like, Joker, almost like smile. The first thing you did when you woke up, so Johannes, that was probably pretty scary for you. Because we weren't expecting that, honestly. But after a split second, Lambert, you regain control over your...
Do I have a delusion?
muscles. What?
Do I have a critical still on me or something?
No, as I've said, this is mainly for like... well, first of all, this is like only 2 weeks after. So, and I told you that the symptoms... sorry, not the symptoms, the effects of your wound, like, they went away like a month and a half after that. So, like, this is only for flavor, so to speak. Like, you don't have any...
text.
Yeah, you don't have any, like, negative modifier stuff like that, so don't worry.
Gotcha.
Although you do now have a strange obsession with rubber bands.
I'll be back in a sec, sorry.
Okay.
Lambert just starts going like, we live in a society.
Right.
What's the first rule of Fight Club?
Starts going like hard down the really bad chat room route.
Oh.
Oh my god, you guys still keep that femoid around?
I don't even know what that is.
It's what like incels call women.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm so not an incel. I don't even know what incels do.
I get on Reddit occasionally, and it's amazing how prevalent it is.
Oh God. So yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's like that one I keep on seeing where was it Andrew Tate says that he doesn't sleep with vaccinated women, and the woman responds, "Yay, the vaccines work."
Surprised that he's not in jail, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's all a conspiracy, bro.
Of course, I know that.
Like, you just can't handle the truth.
No, I can't. I'm not a real alpha male like Andrew is.
Yeah,
Andrew
exactly.
Tate, not
You can't
Orange.
handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
handle my alpha behavior.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So anyway,
Good times.
you all get dressed up, and as you are getting dressed up, Gaston enters the room. Gaston, I presume that you are dressed in your armor, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you can see that he's like, all nightly and stuff. Outside there is actually a storm coming. You can see that the sky is overcast, and in the distance you can even hear thunder. So you guess that soon Altdorf will once again be completely soaked in rain. But not yet. You don't even have time to grab anything to eat, sadly. And when it comes to drinking, maybe just like a cup of water from poured from a wooden jug standing right next to your beds.
When everybody's out of the room, I want to splash some brandy from the bottom of an empty glass in my beard.
All right, no problem. You do that, sure. And so you join the 3 guards at the bottom of the stairs. One of them even, ordered a small cup of ale, and he's now enjoying sipping it. But when he sees you 3 coming down, he of course puts the drink away, wipes his mouth with the sleeve of his uniform, and the guard with with the Grey Master. She's like, "Are we ready?"
Lead on, sir.
And so he leads you on. He actually, he looks at Marange and says, she doesn't have to go.
He goes where we go.
He raises one eyebrow and just shrugs, right? Never met someone who would willingly go to a meeting with a witch hunter, but Altdorf is full of crazies these days, so whatever. And so he leads the way. If any of you had, had hopes for them to have maybe a cart or a carriage, of course they are quickly dashed. You are all walking. The officer, you guess that he's an officer, with the Grey Masters. He leads the way. Meanwhile, his two men are walking closely behind you. You don't feel like you're being, forcefully escorted. They also, of course, didn't took your weapons. In fact, you can take whatever you want. But you can tell that these men are very serious about doing their duty, and so they are definitely keeping a close eye on you. Even you, Gaston. When you are approaching the bridge to the other side, the rain starts to fall. For now, it's just a light drizzle, but you guess that soon it will turn into something much bigger, perhaps even, the kind of downpour that Gustav and Johannes that you walked in a few weeks ago when you tried to reach the Golden Triangle via sewers. By the way, it is still summer, so even though it's slightly less hot than it was like this few weeks before, the temperature is still rather high. You are all hungry. There was nothing to eat. You didn't have time to eat anything. And so in like less than an hour, you eventually reach the Grand Cathedral of Sigmar. You enter through one of the side gates, side entrances, and by that I mean that the guards just leave you in the care of two stern-looking temple guards who check something on a piece of parchment when they tell them who they are bringing. The temple guards, who are obviously all business, even more so than the watchmen. They simply tell you all rather bluntly to follow them and not to deviate in any way, not to stay behind, not to drag, stuff like that. And they take you to one of the smaller buildings in this huge temple complex. The building is completely out of sight of normal Altdorf citizens because of the walls, because of other higher, more grander buildings. You don't know the function of this particular place. It's single story, it's small, it's not very well kept actually. There are vines covering one entire wall, and the paint is flaking in places. There is of course the symbol of twin-tailed comet above, but even this symbol is slowly fading away. You think the paint just obviously very old. When you enter the main room of this building, you can see that there's a whole group waiting for you. There's Witch Hunter Captain, of course, Klinger, who's sitting on a strange contraption. It looks like a chair, but it has wheels, and it has something that looks like a small steam engine, perhaps. Malgund Outman stands right next to her master, ready to help him in every way possible. There's Gaston. You see, Preceptor Kunibald Fellenbach of the Race Guard without his helmet in the crook of his arm, his hand on the hilt of the sword. There's also Gustav. You see your old comrade in arms, you could say, Colbinian Shrek from the Jade College. You haven't seen him in quite a while. When you look eyes, he immediately smiles warmly. And finally, there's the half-demented dwarf, Usarun Thundercoat, smiling broadly at all of you. The smile is just downright terrifying, of course. And he smells the worst out of all in this room. Klinger, on very shaky legs, gets up from the chair. You can tell that this motion requires a lot of effort from him, but he eventually does get up and says, "Sigmar be praised. Welcome, heroes of Altdorf. Welcome to the Grand Cathedral." And as he says that, he does the hand signature to the two temple guards. They immediately leave the room after bowing very low, probably to him. You would guess. Even though Johannes, you can see that one of them, gives Magister Shrek the stink eye. Can't really help himself, sneering at the witch.
Yeah.
Preceptor Fellenbach approaches you, Gaston, a few long strides, and once again says, "Well met, Sir Gaston," and offers you the handshake.
Shake his hand back.
You shake his hand. Given the fact that both of you wear armor, the sound is like this steel on steel clashing. Meanwhile, Usarlun approaches Gustav, Johannes, and Marla, and says, "Oh, fancy seeing three of you here." And Lambert, and says, "Oh, fancy seeing all four of you here. It's just like the old times when we took on that bastard outside the walls of the city, eh? Lass, you weren't present when we removed some Elgi heads 2 weeks ago, I reckon." And Marla, she clearly is not sure what he's talking about. She just, I was busy. No shame in that, no shame. Glad that you are here. I can see, Gustav, that this one will leave a scar, and he points at the arm. You saying anything, Gustav?
I glance at the witch hunter and Morgan when he's talking about the incident outside of the city before the whole thing with the dark elves.
They're not saying.
Are they noticing?
No, you're not sure. Though you
Okay.
wouldn't be surprised if he told them about this whole thing before, and they just know about this already.
You'll have to share your dietary regimen with me, dwarf. I'm afraid I don't have your constitution.
It's not about the food, the manling, or even the copious amount of drink that I'm putting into myself every single day. It's about the fact that I'm a dwarf, and you're an umgi, huh? I could probably huff and puff, and you would fly away.
Well, please hold it in until I'm out of the room.
But you can say he actually laughs at that very very long and very hard in this rather thunderous booming voice. Ha ha! I like you, manling. You have spirit. You will go far. I can tell that. But for now, I think that our esteemed host wants to speak, so I will probably stay quiet, at least for a little while. And you can indeed see that Klinger patiently waits for Yosaron to shut the fuck up. And when he does, He looks at all of you: Gustav, Johannes, Lambert, Gaston, and Marla. But Marla stands like slightly away from the group. Like, she can tell that this is mostly about you. Klinger coughs slightly and says, "I will repeat myself, but this must be said that Altdorf has huge debt to all of you. You really, and I don't know why I'm speaking this with Kislevite accent, but okay, I need to change this. I really need to thank you, eh? No.
I thought all the Imperials sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Like, you're like a Michael Caine or something.
I'm not good enough.
No copy.
I would really like to speak like Christopher Walken, but I can't.
There you go.
Yeah. No, he says, actually his voice is very, like, is filled with pain, and Gustav and Johannes, especially Gustav, you can see, that he probably has weeks, if not months, of recovery from the wounds that he sustained. When he's standing, you can see that his left leg is shaking so violently that he really needs to grab. At some point, he just grabs it with his left hand and tries to forcefully stop it from shaking, but he continues nonetheless. I wanted to thank you all for what you did, for what you sacrificed. And he looks at you, Lambert. Even though some of you are not from this place, and he looks at you, Gaston, and at you, Gustav, as well. You did the city. It's not even a favor. You managed to save it. We discussed the extent of the ritual with Master Shrek and other members of the Colleges of Magic, and after studying the orb found in this benighted abandoned house, they agreed that if the Drukai sorceress would succeed, the entire fleet would indeed be able to, what's the word you used, Magister? Translocate. Yes, translocate into the rivers in the middle of Altdorf. It would be a slaughter. The stone in question, one of the seals of Grond, as I've been told they are called, has been located safely in the vaults of the Light College of Magic. It won't spread its evil any further now. Not now, not ever. The vaults created by the first patriarch, back when the colleges were first founded, are impenetrable and impregnable. So at least we know that this particular evil has been sealed away for all time. Now, and he snaps his fingers, and you can see that Magrund approaches nearby table. There's this small, like, coffer. Very, very, very. I mean, it's not like this huge chest. It's like a travel coffer that you attach to your, to the saddle of your horse, or maybe put on a small cart. She takes the coffer. She actually grunts with effort because it's obviously very heavy. And she approaches the four of you and stands, puts the coffer down in front of you. This is for your efforts, for your sacrifices, for the blood that you've shed. I understand, and he once again looks at you, Lambert, that it's perhaps not enough. But for now, it must do. And he makes the gesture of please open it.
Johannes will quickly go over and open it.
There's a lot of gold inside. A lot of gold. You are all stunned. Even you, Gaston, given that you're from nobility, your family has they have their own castle, their own lands. Seeing so much gold crowns in one place at any single time. You can even hear Marla just inhaling sharply. You can hear Yusarlun whistling. It's a fortune. It's literally fortune. Klinger says 1,000 gold crowns.
Woohoo!
Sourced from various private funds, so to speak. They are yours. Spend it however you wish. I'm sure that you will find good use for the money.
Yes.
So this must have come from the Gold College then, right?
Uh, Corbinian Shrek is like, he coughs into his hand. No, Master Bretonian, I can assure you that my colleagues from the Gold College of Magic actually don't have anything to do with this. That said, they also asked me to convey my deepest sympathies and respect for all of you. Especially the Arch Magisterix Romilda Nowicki, that you've met before. She was the woman who told you about the composition of the daggers, of the metals of the dagger. Now, says Klinger, the Golden Triangle Club has been closed, so to speak. There are there's investigation going. There is an ongoing investigation into the activities of all its members. Those people are from the very top of the Rakeland society, not only Altdorfs but also from other cities and towns. Some of them are noble, most of them are rich merchants. I don't think that they will bother you in any way, but just so we are clear, they are powerful people and they can be dangerous. If I were you, I would be very careful over the next couple of months and probably learn to watch over my shoulder. Of course, all of them say that they didn't knew what Everard Harstein was doing, that they are innocent. Stuff. The usual stuff. We know how this goes. Those that will be found guilty will be sentenced to appropriate punishment. Those that will be free of guilt will be, well, let go. When he says that, you can hear Yusarlun just bark with laughter and just shake his head. Now, the building itself, it has been returned to the city and it will probably be used in the future, either as I don't really know. It will be used in some way, maybe auctioned, who knows, maybe you can buy it. And he points at the chest, although I'm afraid that you'd probably need at least two or three more free chests like that one.
Yeah.
If you would wish to buy this, if you would wish to buy a property in this particular district, he says, and you can see that for the first time he actually smiles slightly. Sorry, Michael. Yeah.
I'm not big on getting my family killed 3 or 4 more times. I'm all right.
He nods. Wise.
That's a morbid joke.
Wise,
Yes.
Master Cherryheart. Very wise. He speaks. And so this is where our ways part. You will leave this place, and Sigmar willing, you won't be forced into similar situation for the rest of your life until the end of your lives. But there is one last thing, and I need you all to understand this. You are not to talk about what happened to anyone outside of this room. You are not to tell about the Dark Elves, the stone, the invasion. The public doesn't know the extent of what happened at Golden Triangle. As far as they know, this is the story that we've been carefully fabricating. They were Some of their members were involved in illicit drug trade, Crimson Shade, of course, but that's that. I don't need to tell you why this has to be so. Do I, Magister Shrek? And he says this in a rather hard way, and you can see that Corbinian Shrek actually looks downtrodden for a second, but then he composes himself and says, yes, well, it has to be said, but we of the Colleges of Magic do take responsibility for our actions. If the Dark Elf Sorcerer's plan would actually go through, this would probably mean the end of our institution. I mean, can you imagine the social backlash when it would be discovered that magisters sworn to protect the Empire from mystical threat allowed a ritual to happen in the city that actually teleported thousands of enemy warriors right into the middle of the capital? This would be the end of us. It would also probably be the end of the reign of our current emperor, Karl Franz, may he reign eternal, of course. Karl Franz, says Yosarlun, smiling. So, we recognize our failure and will be sure to correct it, says Shrek. And yes, this can't be known outside. And Klinger says, and now when he looks at you, you can see that there's no pity, there's no sympathy, there's nothing. He says, under the threat of death. If we will find that you talk to anyone about this, whether sober or drunk, you will visit the dungeon below. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Crystal.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Absolutely, says Yusarlun. I don't know anything about what happened. I was just happy to be able to chop some pointy-eared heads, eh?
There is one thing I think we should discuss before we leave this room, though. Our friend who provided aid during our investigation, he's gone missing since the day of. He's the elf that ran the Shepherd's Wand.
Malgund looks at Klinger, he looks at her. I don't think you have to worry about this anymore. We've made some inquiries into this Finron with the elven ambassadors in the city. He told us all we needed to know. The case is closed. Needless to say, we are very happy that our Ulfuani allies once again managed to support us in these trying times.
Was he not with them?
I said that this matter is settled, says Klinger. Let it go.
I look at the table.
Now, there's actually one more thing, but that's not connected to me in any way, he says, and he rather absent-mindedly, reaches under his coat. He once again, by the way, sits on the steam-driven wheelchair. He produces a small piece of parchment, and he beckons at you, Johannes, to approach. Master Johannes, can you please? This was actually given to me by the elven authorities. It is an address of a lawyer in Altdorf. I was asked to give this to you. The lawyer, he works 5 days a week. Apparently he will have something for you. I don't know what. I was just to pass this on to you.
Thank you, sir. I will take care of it immediately.
You can take care of it whenever you want. As I said, it's not my problem. It's yours, so it's up to you. Now, excuse me. I need to take my medicine, and I think this meeting is concluded.
I hastily scrawl a note and like put a finger up to Shrek to just like, can you wait like 5 minutes.
He just nods.
And I hastily scrawl a note and hand it over to the witch hunter, and then like immediately start scrawling a second note. And wait, I'll just talk to you. You're right here. He's leaving. But the note and the talk is basically the same. So I'll do that by talking to Shrek.
Sure. The witch hunter takes the note and he's rather surprised. He reads it. I don't know what's on the note, so you know.
Well, seeing as my family's dead, and seeing as I'm gonna be here for a bit, I'm kind of out of a job, and I kind of need the work, and I'm happy to do the sneaky little bullshit that I do in support of the people that helped me, that helped us get back at the people that killed my family. So I got an open schedule for the next couple of months. If you need somebody to slink around for you.
This is for the witch hunter. He looks at the note, he looks at you, and he just nods and says, "We'll be in touch then. Your services."
That's the same talk I give to Shrek.
Your services may be required. And with that, he really excuses himself, and he reaches behind the back. I know what's the word. Not the back seat, but the thing that you lean against on a seat. What's it called in English?
The back.
Oh, the
Just the back. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, you think he pushes something, or maybe he switches something. The steam engine comes to life. You know, it belches steam, and very shakily the witch hunter just steers the chair out of the room. Malgund actually approaches you, Gustav, and she looks at you and she says, "Have you considered taking up the job of an interrogator? Or if you don't want to get your hands dirty," she says with a rather nasty smile, "perhaps someone who could help us keep some of our marks alive long enough for them to confess. There would be a good coin in you. In this for you."
I'm afraid my destiny is to be a physician and barber surgeon to identify a problem the body has and remove it without the body noticing.
She just nods and says, "Very well. The offer still stands if you change your mind." And then she, claps 3 times. One of the temple guards enters. She tells him, "Escort this group outside of the premises of the temple." He nods, or rather bows, and he says to all of you, please follow me." Who takes the chest?
I give Morgan the sign of the cross as we leave with my left hand.
She does the sign of the hammer over her face. And then she leaves, following her master, who exited on this ramshackle steam chair through one of the side entrances, exits rather. Who takes the chest? The chest, by the way, is very heavy, and you can see that the chest is very sturdy.
It's heavy. It's 1,000 gold coins.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to get a cart and cover that with something.
I can carry it.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume I was holding it or standing next to it. And I'm like,
I mean, you wouldn't be able to hold it for this entire meeting. You would have to be inhumanly strong to do that.
Right.
My suggestion is that 2 of you grab it, because the chest can be grabbed by 2 people. It has those side handles that are, movable actually. The chest, by the way, you can also add, I don't know which one of you, but you can also add that this is the best quality chest. A small chest, actually. Because the wood that it's made from is very sturdy. It's, it's probably oak, and it's also encased in iron. There are naturally symbols of the empire carved into it, and there are, as I said, exactly 1,000 gold crowns inside.
That's like 200 each.
Well, yeah, that's like that's like a lot of money. You know that.
Or it's like 1,000 for me, so I can.
Start your own business,
I
of
think
course.
Gaston should, I mean, if he can carry it, like,
Well,
he's the
it's
perfect
not.
one to carry
Now,
it.
now hold up. Just I need to make an intelligence check because this is an out of game check, and I did the math in my head, but I want to make sure that Lambert can probably do this. Can I make an intelligence check real quick to do some head math?
Yeah, I mean, do you have supernumerate, for example? It can help.
I don't. I have evaluate.
Then it can help. Okay, but rather, you should probably tell me what do you want to make the check for, Michael, because maybe I will just be able to tell you and you won't have to roll.
I'm guesstimating the weight of 1,000 gold coins.
Okay, in my games, 1,000, like a gold crown is a single point of encumbrance. It's not outright stated in the book, but I always, think about it that way, and I've been using this rule ever since I started playing Warhammer.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So just heavy as fuck.
It is very heavy. Very, very heavy.
All right, because I was gonna say like the old American like gold eagle crowns or coins were 31 grams, so it's really only like 70 pounds or so for 1,000 gold.
Oh,
I think normally for, like, personal wealth, maybe that makes sense to count it one encumbrance per coin, but, like, with a massive, like, we're gonna need a cart for this.
Yeah, and
That's
also
fair.
the chest itself is very heavy.
The chest is probably heavier.
Yeah, because as I said, funnily
Gaston
enough,
carry it
best
back?
quality means that it's also lighter than like the best quality item is always lighter than standard one in this game, but it's still wood and iron. So
This best quality paperweight is lighter than a normal paperweight.
yeah, something like that.
Um,
For example, your pistol, Lambert, is much lighter and much well balanced than normal handgun. Yeah.
Maybe this is the time to do this then. Like, Johannes, if we're each getting 200 each, I'm gonna give you 150.
Manlinks,
Of
says
mine.
your saloon. First of all, I think we should probably leave this place, as the Sigmarite last said, and maybe you would like to wait with splitting the loot when you get to your elf-run place, eh? He says.
Actually, how about you come with us?
I
and
can
we'll
I
get
can
you drunk when we
escort you
get there.
there. I can escort you there for old time's sake.
that
Problem
would
solved.
be wonderful. So
And I
we
won't
can
even
discuss it on the way home.
And I won't even take a single crown for doing that because I actually like you very much.
Damn,
Why,
Damn.
Thank you.
that's some real gratitude. Hey, dwarf friend. Yeah, I pull out 2 cigars. It's like I have an extra cigar. Do you
Oh.
want one?
Oh, that's the cigar. I smoked one once. It was supposedly made from leaves from place far to the west. It was very strong. I will take this one. Thank you very much. And he takes one from you.
This is like good Phineas tobacco.
It smells much nicer than than the one that I smoked. If I don't know, it was. I was drunk back then. I don't remember when it was. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20. Yes,
this
this one
guy-
smokes very, very nice.
This guy is somebody to keep around.
And he takes the cigar. He actually puts it in his mouth, and he produces something from the pocket of his dirty trousers. This looks very strange. It's like a metal object shaped in this. It's like a metal square with dwarven symbols all around it. He opens the top. He presses something. There's a spark, and a small flame appears.
Dwarven Zippo.
Yeah. By the way, this is canon. Dwarves use those. This is not
Yeah,
my
yeah,
invention.
yeah.
And he does this. Like in the movies, they always they light the cigars and they're like a poof poof poof. He takes a huge like mouthful of the smoke and he's like, yeah, this is much better. First of all, I can tell that I won't have a hangover from that, not from this Lastrian leaf crap. As this smells much better, I could get used to it. Halfling, you know your stuff. I respect that. And once again, does the like you can see Lambert that he basically goes through the cigar with every puff. The flames are just rolling backwards.
Oh God.
Yeah, he smokes like a chimney, by the way. Yeah. So lead on to where I need to escort you, eh?
Just painstakingly dragging this chest.
Yeah. No, I would presume that Gaston and Johannes probably took it like one on one side, the other on the other side. I would say, right?
I'm probably slowing Gaston down
Yeah, probably.
terribly though, because I'm a wuss. I suggest as we're walking, does anybody know of a bank along the way? Maybe we should deposit this money for safekeeping.
Sorry. Anyway, let's say that you talk about this when you already left the temple. The temple guard bid you farewell.
Yeah.
In a very gruff voice, but whatever. And you are walking, down the street with your loot. You can roll Common Knowledge Empire. Gaston, you can roll Common Knowledge Marienburg because this is practically the same when it comes to banking. If you wish.
Okay. I don't know what I rolled. Yay, I succeeded.
You
Let's do my intelligence, right?
Yeah. Actually, sorry, Gaston, if you don't have Common Knowledge Empire, you can't really roll because Bretonnian nobles, they don't really use banks. Banks are something that the commoners use, the middle class that, of course, the knights look down upon very much. Sorry, once again, Brian.
I'm using a luck on mine.
Okay, you've botched. All right, sure.
It didn't matter.
Wait, let's see. 69, nice, but 72, all right.
Yeah.
Lambert passed, Johannes passed. Gaston, you don't have. You don't have
That's
the skill,
a
right?
critical pass, baby.
No, I don't.
Because if it's plus 10, I didn't need to use the luck. I would have passed.
Sadly, this is not a critical pass. Remember, our critical passes are 0-1 and 0-2.
I know. I was making.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
No.
good.
I mean, it's a good point, Michael. 0-1, 0-2 always gives you extra bonuses, as we agreed. Actually, I will roll for Marla just for shits and giggles, but I don't think she will pass. 43. Also, Brian, remember to update her character sheet for next game, maybe.
I think she got 175.
Yeah. No, she failed. So, Lambert and Johannes, as you are walking back towards Shepherd's Wand, escorted by Yosarlun and carrying your hard-earned loot, of course, people that you are passing by, the hundreds of Altdorfers, many of them are eyeing the chest with envious eyes. They can probably imagine what's inside, right? But even if some of them would maybe try something, like, the less savory types that you sometimes pass, one look from them at Yosarlun and Gaston immediately, stops any of their silly ideas. And so now we will use something that I normally don't do. We will... because I will need to check this, but after this game, I think there are rules for banking for 2nd edition. I never use them, and I will need to search. They are either in the armory or in the companion, but there are actually very good rules for 4th edition for banking.
Ooh, that might just be an easy switch.
Yeah, and
because it doesn't affect any of the rules.
Yeah, and they are from the rulebook, so they are pretty easy to use. Essentially, Johannes and Lambert, you know that there are banks, of course, and they mainly cater to the more wealthy types. Like your normal old world citizen, he doesn't put money into the bank. He, puts his money under the floorboard or, behind a loose brick in the chimney or somewhere. because every time you pull out money, you pay the fee. And the fee,
10% every time.
yeah, and the fee, of course, depends on, is different depending on the bank. Like bigger banks, offering their services to guilds, for example, they can have very high fees, like 20%, 30%, stuff like that.
And it's per transaction, I think, is
Yeah.
the crazy part.
Yeah, and as I said, every time you pull out the money. So this, as you said, Brian, this is per transaction. Smaller banks usually, and you would probably know this better, Lambert, given that you wrote 11. They usually take 10% every time you take out some cash. And of course, remember another thing. This is the old world. This is not our world. So not only there are no ATMs, you usually need to wait quite a long time in a line to be taken care of in a bank.
The alternative is buying trade goods.
I have it pulled up from 4th edition.
Okay,
like investing, you know what I mean? Because you don't pay a tax on that.
I can read it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just was trying to think of someplace.
I'll just copy it. And
yeah,
paste it
copy it and paste into Discord. Thank you, Michael. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
Oh well, I'm just trying to think of a secure place to hold it, but yeah, it doesn't sound very. I'd rather put my money in hog futures than. Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna cost us an inordinate amount of money then it's probably safest with us. I didn't consider all of the ramifications of putting money in the bank. More so, just what's a safer place than under the floor for us.
There's another
right
thing
now.
with banks, for example. If, let's say, I mean, this is like past wartime, but if there would be another war or some emergency, you guess that this is how it works. Lambert, Johannes, you probably know that this is how it works. The government, either Altdorf government or the Empire government, can requisition money from a bank to, for example, use it to fund the armies, buy gunpowder, stuff like that.
Same way they can come in your house and say our soldiers are eating all your food and staying here.
Yeah, exactly. So also remember
I have
that.
rights.
In fact, you really don't. Not in the Empire. You only have very
I know.
basic rights. But the Empire is now autocratic. Hellhole. Well, maybe not hellhole. This is not like 40k. But definitely, your average Imperial citizens has very few rights, and they are very shaky at best. So, thank you for copy pasting this, Michael. By the way, Andy, you want to say something, or did I miss that?
Oh no. Okay. I was listening. Obviously, I don't know any of this stuff anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that
I
you
couldn't
know,
roll.
Gaston, is that the banks are, of course, they are for people without spines and an honor, and a good honest knight doesn't need to worry about things like money because he has his title and his lands and his honor and the faith in lady. But that said, you can roll me, Gaston, and only you, intelligence test, let's say +10. Nice. Now this is how this works. Gaston rolled 1, so this is the ultimate success. Gaston, you know that if you take this money, that a very safe place to take it would be the Bretonnian embassy.
That's what I was actually thinking. Out of character.
Yeah, if you would be the one doing this, and since you rolled a 1, let's say that there's someone in the Bretonnian embassy that you know very well who is very trustworthy when it comes to money. But you would need to. I would like for you to tell me, if you want to do this, who this is. Assuming, of course, that your comrades will agree with your idea if you even present this to them. But you know that the Bretonnian embassy would simply be able to keep an like you'll be able to keep the money there. It will be very safe, and of course there will be no extra fees, no additional payments, if you would be the one doing this because you're a knight. So tell me if you want to present this option to the rest of the squad.
Yeah, I'll present it.
Okay, so please do.
Hey guys, we could just take the monies for the Tonian embassy, and it'll be safe there. No fees, nothing like that. No government stealing it.
Sold.
I defer to my business partner's judgment here.
Yeah.
I think that is a incredibly wise plan. Thank you, Sir LaRue.
That's a very good thinking, manling, says Yusarn Thundercoat. Even if your imperial government who want to do something funny, they probably won't be able to do something funny on the grounds of another nation's embassy, eh? This knight here, he's a crafty one, he says. Marla is not really saying anything because you have a feeling that she doesn't feel, entitled to even part of this money. So she just, walks in silence right next to you.
Marla gets some of my money. She helped me out through this whole damn thing.
No, I think she's getting a fifth of it, right?
No,
Yeah, for sure.
She says, look, I didn't deserve that. I wasn't by your side when you... And she, says that in a very hush-hush voice when you went to both of those places. And honestly, I would just like to make sure that Shepherd's Want is doing well.
Well,
I have an idea. I have an idea. Finron's not around. Marla, why don't you take over the Shepherd's Wand for now?
Well, because I can't. I mean, first of all, I'm the most junior worker there, and
with 200 crowns,
200 gold.
Yes, but from what I understood, Master Finron, he left Bruna as his immediate.
If I go halvesies with
second.
you on bribing and sweet talking Bruna into giving us control, would you be down for that?
She says, I mean, yes, of course I would. This definitely.
Well, fantastic.
Sneak upstairs.
Going back to the streets, or even being a waitress all the time, and I think I would be able to do a pretty good job. I think, obviously, like this wouldn't change anything between us. Like we'd probably remove the rooms in which we are staying from normal rotation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I would look. I respect the hell out of the staff working there. All right. I don't want to do anything behind their backs, and I don't want to do anything that's not fair to them. They are good people.
Then we can involve them in this conversation.
She nods.
To transfer control to us. To me and you, Marla. And keep Bruna on staff. And all that changes here is, instead of this being a place that we stay at because Bruna's boss said it's okay, it becomes, this is a place that we stay at because we have a controlling interest in it. It's a more concrete foundation, and instead of it being, this is a place that we can stay at, this becomes a home.
I'm completely fine with that, she says. And perhaps we could even think about... Look, this is long-term thinking, but when you said home, that Shepherd's Wand, it's only like located in a part of the building structure. What if you decide to buy more parts of this building?
Sounds like a plan.
More apartments.
No land, no money.
I mean, this is of course like a very long-term plan, but maybe
See, you're already talking like a manager.
maybe you could think about this.
I have been thinking about things such as this, and I want to remind you, Marla, that as a founding member of Prestige Worldwide,
Fucking hell.
Prestige
you're
world.
in,
Your sound
Prestige
is,
old worldwide.
yeah.
your sound is like Prestige worldwide. That's a catchy name. I like that.
Boats and hoes.
You could be in the music video.
Yeah.
The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Sorry, I'll stop.
Mhm.
But anyway, just my point being, Marla, that you say you weren't there, but you are an equal partner in all our endeavors and have contributed much to our success. We wouldn't be here today without you. And that goes for all of you. We wouldn't be here without each other. I can confidently say that. So I think it behooves me to support all of my compatriots and to make sure that we are always take care of each other.
Marla nods her head. Yusarlun even nods his. Grinning like a maniac. I don't know about Gustav, Johannes, of course, and Gustav, Lambert, and Gaston, of course, but Johannes.
He's spitting truth, man.
Yeah, Johannes' speech is very nice, and I would say that, yeah, that's pretty nice. By the time you reach Shepherd's Wand, the rain is already falling in cascades from the sky. You enter the place. I guess that you take the chest upstairs, of course, to the room of what, Gustav, Johannes, and Lambert, or to Gaston's room.
Actually, I'm kind of leaning towards Gaston's room because I don't think anybody is brave enough to go in there.
Yeah, to a Bretonnian knight's room, probably. No one.
Gaston, do you mind if we look for a spot under the floorboards in your room?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know that there's a floorboards big enough to hold that.
We're gonna find Gaston's hidden like titty mags.
Yeah, I mean you can hide them under the boards, no problem, but under all of the boards, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think you just you throw a duvet on it, say it's an ottoman.
Yeah. So anyway, you probably spent like a good half an hour doing just that, removing boards, hiding money under the boards. Eventually, with the rain hammering outside on the windows, every single gold crown, and if you counted, there were exactly 1,000 has been hidden. The only thing that you have left right now is this, remember, best quality chest. And so my question is, because right now it's like even before noon, like it's not even noon yet, do you want to go to the lawyer?
I would like to go to the lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. By the way, when your Sarun escorted you, he says that, well, this is where we part ways for now, but I will make sure to drop by sometime, even though this was a place run by run by Nelgi.
Starloon?
Yes?
50% discount. 50% discount for you, bud.
Well, you don't have to tell me you don't have to convince me twice. Then I will visit this very evening. But for now, I need to check out, some of the possible leads that could point me towards the direction of a particularly nasty monster. Slayer's life ain't easy, he says.
I'll have fun with that.
Then
hopefully you find your Seth.
Well, if I will, then sadly I won't be able to visit you this evening. But win some, lose some, right? And with that, he winks at all of you, and he turns away into in the heavy rain and walks back the way he came from, his orange hair already completely damp and sticking to his shaven scalp. But this was before. So right now you've left the money, and Johannes and Lambert, you say that you want to go to the lawyer. Gustav, Gaston, what about you?
As I'm going along.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
All right. So the lawyer's address is actually not very far from here. It's very close to Königplatz. So this is number 24 on the map. You guess that this means that this lawyer is probably, a rather wealthy, on the richer side, probably offering his services to the clients with quite enough money, quite a lot of money. So you step out onto the rainy streets of Altdorf, and really without any cover, because there's none. You go under the address that's been written on the note, handed to you by the witch hunter. That's been handed to him in in an elven embassy. Though it must be said that even the note is written in a very nice elegant style. It still feels more like human wrote it down than an elf. You would guess so. I mean, of course, you're not sure. You can't be sure, but and we don't have to roll for this. Normally, you would have to roll gossip to find the exact place. But let's say that you ask around, and someone, a helpful Altdorf citizen, pointed you towards the Neuhauser and partners. Eckhart Neuhauser and partners. I'm going to enter this. What's the word for a lawyer?
LLP, limited and partners.
Yeah. Here's that. To their headquarters, and so you arrive at a building that's actually right next to the edge of the Königplatz, and when you enter through the main door, you maybe take a look behind your shoulders, and you can see that the Königplatz, which translates to as the place of kings, the heart of Altdorf, is, even though it's raining very hard, it's still filled with people. Normally there are military parades here, official proclamations, fairs, and of course public executions as well. And it features the largest market in Altdorf, by the way. It is important to know. Supposedly there are supposedly, I think Johannes and Lambert and Gustav, you were at the Four Seasons coaching in and depot here back when you were trying to find the kidnapped merchants, Johann Staller and Eva Staller. I think you were here. There are also statues of the emperors, including Sigmar and Magnus, and of course statue of Karl Franz, naturally, the current emperor. The building which houses Eckhart Neuhauser and partners is large, well kept, in a very good condition. And once you enter, there's of course the reception. A young man sits behind the desk, clearly, probably, almost certainly a law student, working here. He looks at you. He's quite surprised, because you are all an eclectic bunch, especially, given that Gaston is with you, and he says, "Welcome to Eckhart Neuhauser and Partners. How can I help you, mein Herren, on this rainy day?"
We have received a message to come and see Herr Neuhauser about a matter.
And can you perchance tell me who you are so I can verify this?
My name is Johannes Knappen, and these are my compatriots, Herr Cherryheart, Herr whatever Gustav's last name is,
Van Hoek.
and Herr Leroux.
Yeah, and by the way, Marla is also with you. By the way, she also.
Oh, and Frau
Marla. Just Marla.
I believe it's Sir LaRue.
Sorry?
I believe it's Sir LaRue.
Yeah, Sir.
Yes, Herr Leroux.
Yeah.
No, it's sorry, Ritter. Ritter Leroux.
Ritter Leroux. The young man, he opens like a large wooden ledger, filled with parchment pages. He flips through the pages very quickly, like doing this thing where he licks his finger so that he can, flip the pages easier. Like in The Name of the Rose, if you watch that movie or you read the book, you know what
Great
happened to the people who did this in the book. He falls dead. It's on you. No, just kidding. But he eventually, stops at the page. He studies it very closely. Oh yes, indeed. I'm very glad that you decided to visit Herr Neuhauser's office because it says urgent. Very well, please follow me. And he gets up and he leads you upstairs. The corridors, I mean, the stairs are, of course, they're not rackety. They don't squeak or anything. There are rags, by the way, everywhere. Rich-looking rags, thick and luxurious. This place is clearly, it doesn't suffer from the lack of money. The young man stops in front of a large, solid and sturdy-looking wooden door with golden handles. He knocks twice and he says loudly, "Herr Eckhart, clients are here to see you. Clients mentioned in the document from the Safari embassy," and you can hear from the inside, "Oh well, in that case, let them in." And the young man opens the door for you, and he does the gesture of, "Please enter." So I guess that you all enter.
Yes.
All right. You enter a large.
I'm back.
Yeah, you enter a large, very large actually, and very well, furnished office. There's a huge window from which you can see the Knickplatz. Even though, of course, right now it's raining, so the window is completely covered in water. In normal days, you can just imagine that from this first story, you could probably see most of the Place of Kings. There's a huge wooden desk, lots of books here on the shelves, lining the walls. Few paintings, one of them clearly, of course, sacred in theme and nature because it depicts Sigmar during the battle at the Blackfire Pass as he smashes the orcs in front of him. The other paintings, they present various people in rich clothes. You don't know who they are. As there are no labels. And there is a man. The man is short, corpulent, has 3 chins, is dressed incredibly expensively, in a very expensive taste. He has small monocles on his nose, and he quickly approaches all of you and says, "Oh, very nice to meet you. I am Eckhart Neuhauser, owner of this fine establishment, and I'm a lawyer." And he looks at Gaston, and Gaston, you see that he's not sure if he can offer to shake your hand or if he should bow. So, to be on the safer side, he just bows. But then he extends his hand to you, Johannes, then to Gustav, then to Lambert, and finally to Marla.
I shake it with my left.
So you've received my message. I am very grateful. I'm very grateful indeed. Please sit, and you can see that there's a large couch.
I say, excuse me, but before we get to business, do you have a chamber pot on hand?
Yes, of course.
I have to go to. I have to go to
Yeah.
the bathroom.
All right. Yeah.
For real.
Me as well. So we'll be back in 3 minutes.
Okay, bye.
All right.
So today I learned that for some reason I don't have a plunger.
They're taking a bathroom break. I don't know if you heard that or not, but
I heard.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
That's why I'm saying it.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I thought I heard you earlier say that you had to step away, so I thought maybe you just came back.
Yeah, and now I've learned that I don't have a plunger.
Oh, yeah. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay, dude. Link, you right? You gonna sit on the deck?
I'm back. Who's here?
I'm here.
Me too.
Michael?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, so the man, Eckhart Neuhauser, sits you on a couch. It's a very nice piece of furniture. Completely covered in rich leather. He also, of course, offers you all a drink. There's a very well stashed, bar, you could say, brandy, gin, cognac, stuff like that. Those of you who want a drink, of course, he pours you one himself. So I would presume probably everyone. There's wine
Yes.
as well, if
Alright.
you want. There's no beer, of course, but only the good stuff, the rich stuff. And then he says, right, let me now find this set of documents. And he opens, he starts opening the drawers in his very large desk. The desk it's almost the size of the of the desk that Everard Harstein had in his office. This one is not as ostentatious though. Eventually, he pulls out a leather case sealed with wax and a piece of parchment, tightly inscribed with small script that you can't really read. Oh, here it is, he says. Very well. So I am, by the power vested in me by the law of this fair city and our fair nation, I am hereby obliged to present you with these documents. You don't have to worry about any fees; they've been all paid. This is yours now. And he's not sure to whom he should give it to, as he looks at you. He thinks maybe about Gaston, but he's a Bretonnian, so
I put my hand out and say, "Thank you, sir."
in that case he's like, of course. And he puts the leather case in your hand. You can even by touch, Johannes, you can tell that this is quality leather. It's very this is it's like a leather envelope, so to speak, very well made. As I said, sealed with red wax with a symbol of the probably of this particular law firm, and you can read classical.
Yes.
So the the script is a classical prayer to Verena, goddess of the law.
Okay.
It's essentially a prayer that wards off unwanted, unwanted attention on this particular document. You break the seal. I guess that Johannes, when you sit on the couch, Gustav, Lambert, Gaston, and Marley probably all look, from every single direction as Johannes opens the document, right? All right.
Yes, I open it.
You break the seal. You put it, carefully away. I mean, this is still a holy seal, so to speak. Seal to dedicated to Verena, so one of the gods. And you pull out two things. Actually, three. First is a series of is a number of paper pages, like real paper, not parchment, but the good stuff. And it says what's the word? Right of deed, when you own something. Right,
okay, yeah.
Right of deed. Shepherd's want in.
Oh damn.
Oh yeah.
The second one is a letter written in Reichspiel in a very nice style, almost in this flowing, slightly alien to your eyes, because no human can write like this style. And the third thing is a small ornament, you would say. it presents a sickle moon. It looks like it's made from silver, but the thing is, Johannes, you probably had a few silver items in your lifetime, held in your hands. When you touch this particular metallic item, this silver moonsicle, the metal is very strange to the touch, almost too cold, and the craftsmanship, even though this is a fairly simple item, is magnificent.
Hmm.
Do you?
Uh,
What are you
yeah.
going to do first?
Well, I'm going to say to Lambert, well, it looks like we don't have to sweet talk anybody, that we have been gifted the deed to the shepherd's wand.
Well, you don't know if you've been gifted because you haven't read it yet. You
Okay,
don't know
yes.
to whom
Okay, I will
it
read
is.
the letter.
You read
Okay.
the letter first, or do you read the deed first?
Read the deed first.
All right.
I read the deed first.
The deed is fairly straightforward. It essentially puts Shepherd's Wand into your hands, and by your hands I mean all of your hands. Gustav, Johannes, Lambert, Gaston, and Marla, you are all shareholders of Shepherd's Wand. Your shares are equal. The inn is yours. Everything within it is yours. The deed says also that the rent for the building, of course, has been paid for 3 months up front. All of the taxes are, of course, regulated. Included in the deed, there are documents that allow you to sell liquor, alcohol, wine, with notifications that all of the trade agreements with guilds, with Altdorf guilds, selling alcohol and meat and foodstuffs, are in the office at the inn itself, so that you have to, probably read them and get acquainted with the people from whom Finron bought his products. And yeah, that's it. The city has been already notified, as according to this document. You are now all inn owners. Yeah. Of course, the deed, you are inn owners for life. Like, there's no set time. The inn is yours indefinitely.
Nice.
All right. Let me read this letter to you guys.
The letter is short and to the point, and it is a farewell letter from Finron. It says something like this. My friends, I am leaving Shepherd's Wand in your hands, and I know that you will do your best to run it, probably better than I ever did.
Yep.
You are of these lands, and you know its people, you know their people much better than I ever knew, even though I traveled all around the world, from my own kingdom to the Far East. But I never was able to stay too long at any given place, not only because of my nature, but also because of the burden that I carried and the duty that I had to carry out in the name of my king. What happened during the last few days in Altdorf, the destruction of the Dark Coven, it was because of you, and for that I am grateful. This deed was many centuries in the making. The sorceress, I tracked her across the ocean for so many years that I almost forgotten that. I knew that I knew that she would eventually wish to fulfill the dark wishes of her master, the one who wanted to take revenge on your nation. And so I knew that she would eventually reach Altdorf itself. I had to take action, but I also had to let her do her vile deeds so that she would be eventually discovered. You managed to stop her. You managed to avert an impossible catastrophe. A wholesale slaughter of your people. And even though many of you sacrificed much, especially Lambert, ultimately it was for the greater good. I am sorry that you had to share your blood, shed your blood and the blood of your loved ones. But the war that I've been fighting, that my people have been fighting with our dark kin, lasts much longer than your empire, even lasts longer than our enmity with the mountain folk. And I am content in knowing that my people are one step closer to winning it. And one day when the bastard king of Far Nagaroth will lay broken on our feet, I will remember that you had a part in assuring his defeat. But for now, I must leave these lands. I must return home and kneel before the broken throne of Anlek, before the Shadow King. Farewell, and may Liliath watch over you. I leave you her charm, made from pure Ifilmar, so that she may guide your way and protect you from the evils of this world. And there's a name. It's not Finron. It is very strangely pronounced, very long and very. It's even hard for you to read. And at the end is also known to you as Finron. And there's this small symbol, like you thought maybe that it's like from a stamp, but only after a second you realize that he drew this. It's like this small raven with the sickle moon in his beak. It's been, he drew this by hand, and honestly, even though it's incredibly small, you almost feel like it will come to life any second and fly away. And I presume that you read it for everyone, Johannes.
Yeah.
When you read it, the lawyer said that that he will leave you to it, and he left the office, so that he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't hear any of it.
Is there a fireplace?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think you should throw that in the fireplace now that we've heard the letter.
Yeah, the letter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The letter. Yeah.
Wait, what? Throw everything in the fire? Is that what you said? Is there a fire going?
Yeah, there is, of course.
Okay. I will.
Even though it's summer, like this guy has a fire going.
Yeah.
Because Empire, whatever.
Yeah. It's for throwing peasants in.
Yeah. Poor people who can pay.
I agree, Gustav. Good call. I will dispose of this letter, and I throw it in the fire.
You throw it in the fire. The flames consume the letter written to you by Finron. As you watch the fire devour it's not even like it's paper, but it's not it didn't felt to your fingers like normal human paper, Johannes. And normal paper in the Empire is rather rare because it is very expensive. It's very expensive. You have a feeling that you will probably never hear from Finron again. That this was the last time. Then you look at the deed and at the small silver sickle. The lawyer very quietly enters his office. He asks if he can come in, if that's all right. I presume that you say yes.
Yes.
He didn't even notice the burning of the letter, or if he did, he didn't say anything. He just asks you, Johannes, to sign up in a few places on his documents, so that that it's been acknowledged that you received the documents, that you read them, stuff like that. He asks if you have any questions. Of course, he also offers his services to your new establishment if you would need a lawyer, for example, when in dealing with the guilds, then he's available.
Yes.
But
I will take your card.
Yeah. He actually, maybe he doesn't have a card per se, but he gives you this pamphlet, like this large piece of parchment with the name of his law firm and everything. He tells you about the prices. Of course, they are very high, very high. And after that, he makes toast with all of you with a glass of brandy. You down it, and then you probably end the meeting.
I would like to call Marla over to me just before we leave. Okay, Marla, could you come over here and turn around?
All right, she says. She turns around.
Bend over. No. I take the charm and I say, "Can you please lift your hair? I want to place this around your neck." I'm assuming it's on a little chain.
It is on a small chain. The chain is also made from, you think, the same metal that the charm is. This Ifilmar that you haven't really heard of.
And I put it on her and I say to her, I believe I am incorrect in assuming that not only Finron but all of us agree that that you should have the protection of the blessing of his gods.
She looks very touched by what you're saying, and she also, of course, looks at the rest of you, if you agree with that, because Gustav, Lambert, and Gaston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't object.
That's fine.
Gaston, sorry, because you were saying something, I haven't caught it.
No, I said yeah.
Yeah. She then nods, and you can see that there are actually tears in her eyes. She is very, like I said, very, very touched. She almost immediately grabs the small charm in his hand and smiles. Thank you so much. I'm sure that in a few years we'll make the Shepherd's One the best damn inn in the city, she says.
Amen.
Now, maybe we should go back and inform everyone there of what has transpired and about what would to come. Don't you agree? She asks.
I absolutely agree.
And with that,
let us go.
Yeah, and with that, now this is the time for the time skip, because you return to the inn. You have a meeting with the staff. So, unless you tell me otherwise, I presume that you inform people working there that nothing really changes except for the ownership, so to speak.
Right.
That you're not firing anyone. You see that they all took it very well. And actually, you can see genuine smiles on their faces, even on the face of the elderly Bruna Baumstein. You guess that perhaps, given her age and her, being constantly stooped, the idea of running Echoin wasn't as hot. I mean, this is a very hard work. So she seems kind of relieved that she won't have to do this whole thing by herself. And yeah, this is it. By the way, for next time we will use the rules for running your own business. This rules can be found in the Old World Armory. There is a whole section, and I will probably either copy paste it or just ask you guys to read it. It's like 10 pages. It's not that long, so and now we do the time skip because 2 months passed. The summer came and went, the weather getting gradually colder, Altdorf returning to normal. In like another week, almost no one even remembered the Crimson Shade epidemic. Most of it actually hit the east side, the poor quarters, and this is of course very tragic, but generally most Altdorfers don't care about those who live in the east side. They are considered third-class citizens, even by the poor of other parts of the city. And even though the actual outbreak of violence of Crimson Shade occurred all over the city of Altdorf, in like a month, the narration was that it only really happened in the east side. And they probably deserved it, because they are, subhuman degenerates, stuff like that. As I said, horrible stuff, but these are the realities of the Empire.
Yeah.
The weather became gradually colder. The strong summer storms replaced by rather regular and much chiller, downpour. Leaves on the trees became gradually more yellow and an orange and brown. And well, the inn prospered. Shepherd's Want continued to operate under all of you, under your guidance, your ownership. Even though I would guess that some of you probably put more work into this than others, not because you're lazy, but I can't really imagine Sir Gaston actually serving beer or making sure that there's enough roasted pork available for everyone.
I think he probably hooks us up with the best wine suppliers, or at least taste tests all the wine to make sure it's good.
I can actually imagine that Gaston, not only you made sure that your money, the 1,000 crowns, reached the Bretonnian embassy, but would you say, Andy, that Gaston would probably try and organize some good wine for Shepherd's Want?
Right, mainly for him to drink. Right?
Of course.
Yeah.
The biggest stash for himself. That's only normal.
And of course, I'm just running security as needed, beating up people.
Of course. I can also imagine that Gaston probably took a day to get all the bouncers, gave them a stern talking to and tell them that, what were the rules from the Roadhouse? 3 rules. Be nice until it's time not to be nice. Yeah. You're too stupid to have a good time, says Gaston as he throws a man outside the window. But Gaston would probably take care of security. Actually, Gaston, when you were in the Bretonnian embassy and you were telling about the wine that you want to secure a large shipment for an inn, the Bretonnian clerk in question looked at you with this rather disbelieving stare. I mean, you are a knight and you are taking care of normal business. This is in Bretonnia, those things, they simply don't happen. But this is the Empire, and the poor young man probably thought that you've been tainted by this hidden nation's ideas of free commerce and capitalism. So yeah. Other than that, Gaston, and this is Andy mainly for you when you take a break. You were actually contacted by at some point. You were invited to. Wait a second. Mm, let me quickly see. To the Reichsguard barracks on the Kaiserplatz. Actually, sorry, not the Reichsguard barracks, the Reichsguard chapter house in Altdorf. A walled castle that could be easily defended should the rest of the city fall. The main headquarters of the Reichsguard Knights chapter by Preceptor Kunibad Fernbach, who told you that now, given that, it was those 2 months later, right? So more and more imperial troops, including knights, returned from the north, and now that there were more Reichsguard present, they wanted to make sure that nearby lands and Reikland in general was much safer and secure. And apparently there was this huge breakherd of beastmen gathering in the Reikwold forest, and the Reichsguard, along with a few other knightly orders, elements of knightly orders, like Knights of the Blazing Sun, Knights of the Black Bear, Knights of the Golden Lion, they were forming this, ad hoc, excuse the modern language, task force to rid the Reikwold of its evil. And Preceptor Fernbach asked if you'd give him an honor of joining this crusade, he actually called it. He told you that he saw you fight, both in the Golden Triangle and in the lair of the Dark Elves, and you are a man of honor, a man of skill, even though you are a foreigner, he added, because he had to. And he told you that, he asked you if you would be valiant enough to ride with him and his men and other knights.
Well, yes, I've grown tired of just beating up drunk people in Altdorf.
Yeah, and he actually even said that, he heard that you are now part of the tavern business, and that perhaps you would like to remember what it's like to fight from the saddle and, smash the enemies of mankind.
Right.
Yeah. So, if you agree...
All I can think of is... All I can think of is Major Payne in that movie where he's like... when he's like in between killing people and he's like hungry for blood, hungry for action.
Yeah, exactly. I've been in retirement too long.
Right.
So after that, after you agreed, of course, there was a feast in your honor in the Reichsguard chapter house, with about almost 24 knights attending. Excellent food, excellent drinks, very fine wines. So you only return to the inn next day. Probably Johannes, Gustav, Lambert, and Mala. You were slightly worried that Gaston hasn't returned, even though I guess you told them where you were going.
Right.
And so, at some point, Gaston Leroux, along with almost 60 other knights and, supported by over 100 standard troops, left Altdorf for Reikwold Forest to slay some beastmen. And that was that. Gustav, what were you doing during those 2 months? Other than, of course, recovering.
I would go down to the Temple of Shalaya and donate my time. I guess at first I probably can't do much, so I'd just help clean bedpans and laundry and that sort of thing until I could actually do physician stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to. I'm drawing and writing a lot with my left hand.
Mm-hmm. Actually, sorry, Brian. You visited the Temple of Shalaya. It was in the university district. Yeah, and if you remember from the Thousand Thrones, Brian, of course, it is like there's a temple and there's a hospital nearby, and so you were
Let me spend
even
my time at the hospital, I guess.
yeah, you were even there where at some point it wasn't like 2 months after, it was like maybe a few weeks after, you know, you became the co-owner of the Shepherd's Wand, but you were having a shift in the hospital where a bunch of witch hunters, you know, entered the place, and they started to look for someone. Apparently they found a body in one of the upper floors. I don't know if you remember this, Brian and Sean, from our Thousand Thrones campaign, but this takes up time approximately, you know, it takes the same the same time that we are playing right now. There was this part that you guys had to infiltrate, and I think that Sean did this. I think that he flew there as a wizard, and he
I did like the cloud step or whatever.
yeah, cloud
some
step,
kinda-
and you interrogated the guy, and then you killed him because he was too afraid that the witch hunters would get him, and so let's say that Gustav was you know, on the premises of the hospital when this happened. Of course, you haven't seen anyone, but you saw the body of the poor burn victim, and you maybe even met the you know, furious witch hunter that who really wanted to interrogate him. But sorry, Brian. After that, tell me what are you going to do?
I'm writing and drawing a lot with my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And when in public around other people, I'm keeping my right elbow tucked into my side. So I'm not really lifting my elbow on the right, even when even after it heals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretending I have a permanent injury. And at night when I'm by myself or something, once I'm feeling better, I'm gonna start doing some push-ups and sit-ups and that sort of thing.
Right. So you are essentially just trying to return to normal.
And I'm splashing alcohol on my face when no one's around, so people get the wrong idea.
All right. Yeah. Funnily enough, probably I don't know, unless Johannes, Lambert, and Gaston, you tell me that you are inquiring very much into how well does Gustav recover. Like running an inn and doing other things takes so much time that, you know, you normally wouldn't really take a like too close a notice of what he's doing.
Well, even though Johannes and Gustav are friends, Johannes does think that he's a weird foreigner.
Yeah. He's a secessionist, right?
Yeah.
He's from the south, and you're from the north. Or sorry, actually, he's from the north, not from the south. Funnily enough.
Jess and Sharks.
Yeah.
I always appear sober when I'm doing my job as a physician, but I always smell like the night before.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Gustav, you were also contacted by few strange people when you were walking to and from Shalian Temple. The people in question, of course, did this very characteristic symbol of a certain god that you also serve. And they perhaps offered you some new opportunities, if you catch my drift. But we can probably discuss this later.
Okay.
Run audience. I mean, of course, if you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was you, Gustav. I don't know if you also, you know, entered into a new relationship. By the way, I would say that by, you know, when those 2 months like came and went, you and Marla are probably just good colleagues. She clearly got over what happened, and you probably too. There's no bad blood between you, so you know
they share custody of the kids.
Yeah, it's completely
share custody of Lambert.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh no.
I get him weekends and holidays.
But so you want to tell me that Gustav is a father who regularly smells of alcohol, right? That's not good. That's not good.
Smells like mommy's kisses.
Never on the days that I have them, though.
Of course not. Son, you don't understand.
Never want to have to meet my parole officer.
Your mother drives me nuts. No, just kidding. But you know, it's all civilized. Lambert, what during those 2 months you probably went back to the Temple of Sigmar because you offered them your services, right?
And to the
The
colleges
college.
of magic.
Yeah. Well, no one really called from the colleges of magic, sadly. Maybe it's because you talked to Corbinian Shrek, you know, the life wizard. You think that they perhaps don't really need someone sneaky beaky, but you were contacted actually by Margun Hautman herself, who invited you to the temple and offered you an extensive and very hard training in the special kind of arts and skills, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, on the condition that you will use them not only for your own benefit, but when the temple asks you to.
Yeah, of course.
So the 2 months that you spent outside of the Shepherd's Wand, they were filled with pain, literally and figuratively. The training was hard, and you were absolutely not surprised to discover that the interior of the complex of the Temple of Sigmar had a sort of special course, training course for things like, you know, sneaking, tracking, clandestine combat, marksmanship, stuff like that. You were taught by grim men and women who passed on to you their knowledge, and they were, even though that they dealt with, you know, shadowy business, given the fact that they were clearly all Sigmarite fanatics, didn't help things. Your diminutive stature, your race even was sometimes called into question, and you guess that it was because to test your character, but it wasn't easy, it wasn't pleasant, it was absolutely merciless. But after the 2 months, you discovered things about yourself that you never knew before, and you've learned a lot of new things.
Yeah, like I had a mole on my butt.
For example, of course, and warts on your, well, backside as well. Are warts still a thing? Like, they are those.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course. So, is there anything else that
I think we're better. Like, we have better nutrition nowadays, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't. So if you get them, it's not as like, oh, you have it forever sort of thing anymore. You know?
well, also they have stuff to, like, you can get it frozen off at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
I had actually one removed from my neck last year, and it was frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very pleasant, but sometimes you just need to do that. Anyway.
It's like a piercing kind of the way it feels.
Yeah. Lambert, do you do anything else?
Aside from that and moonlighting as a cook in the Shepherd's Wand, where surprisingly profits on food go higher up when I'm there.
Yeah. And you are very good at cutting meat, by the way, and maybe even other people at the one
in a weird way.
Notice that wow, Lambert, you can really work that knife. You know, almost like you got some special training. Of course, they're not saying that, but they notice that you are, you know, that you cut things very, very fast and very efficient. So yeah. Other than that, what I presume.
trading in gunpowder weapons with one of the temple's pistoliers.
You want to trade? Okay.
Training.
Training. Sorry, training. I've
Yeah.
traded. Okay. Of course. Sure. So this is also actually part of the training that you have, marksmanship. You've been trained in this particular field by a grizzled outrider, Imperial outrider, older man with a very nasty character, but who knows his stuff. He never talks about his past, but you get a feel that he stopped being an outrider when he got his leg removed, because he has a huge left peg leg, and so probably can't really ride a horse anymore. And so he made sure that you know how to use this weapon, you know how to reload it, how to clean it, how to take care of it. So if you want to buy a specialist group firearms, you can do this without any problems.
Very good.
Even though the nightmares still continue from time to time, they are lessening with each passing week, but sometimes you still wake up in the night, maybe not screaming, but drenched in sweat when you remember the house of horrors. And finally, Johannes, you've actually I need to. Okay. You eventually managed to court Hannah Edberg. You approached her father. I don't think I ever introduced him. So
No.
his name is Vilmar Edberg, a stern man. Of course, he. When you first arrive and told that that you wish to see his daughter, he was like, "Oh, who are you? You are just commoners, blah 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 stuff like that." But then when he discovered that you were the one who actually helped free the Stallers, who are of course friends of the family, and Hannah even she saw that you were talking to her father, and she vouched for you. She said that, "I know this young man. He's a hero." He became slightly more open. That said, of course, I don't have to tell you that the first month was very tough. You had to visit them every day, and you were mainly speaking to him. You haven't even seen Hannah for the first month. Her Vilmar invited you to various meals, lunches, dinners, stuff like that. It was mostly only two of you, and he asked you questions like, "What are your plans for the future? Do you have any ideas for yourself? For your career? What do you have to offer? What are you good at? Stuff like that."
Yeah.
And at first it wasn't very pleasant. He clearly thought that you're just this vagabond, this adventurer, wink wink. But
Yeah.
then I presume, Johannes, what would you say to sway him? To make him maybe like you a bit more?
I would tell him that I am currently
I want to smash your
co-owner.
daughter. That's
Yeah.
that's
I want to bend her over
Yeah.
and run a train on her. No, I would just tell him that I have been planning with the tutelage of Herr Staller to get into the mercantile trade, and that I have put a lot of time and effort into learning about the practices of the guild, and that I have fallen into part ownership of an inn in town.
But you are not part of the guild yet, young Knappen, says Vilmar, over a very tasty roasted duck.
Yeah.
You're not. That's not good. You you should be a part of the guild. It gives you benefits. It also would secure my daughter's future with you. You see, I don't want her to become a penniless vagabond because her perhaps soon-to-be husband decided to make a few bad business choices. You understand that, I presume.
Oh yes, no, I fully intend to. I've asked Herr Staller to sponsor me in the guild.
Really, Herr Staller? Well, I see. And this was like one of the speeches. For example, the next time you've met, this time it's like over this light lunch. And you are currently eating dessert. Funnily enough, during this month, you've eaten even better than Shepherd's Want, because Edbergs have, they are very rich. They are rich mercantile family, so they have excellent cooks. You are eating this interesting Bretonian dessert called creme brulee. Actually, I'm not sure if creme brulee would be possible with the. No, actually it would be, but it would be very, very expensive probably, because of the sugar. Like sugar in the old world is a luxury, right? So,
Right.
Anyway, he's like, but tell me, you say that you want to go into what were you saying? Textiles?
No, I was saying,
Because you are a pharmacist, yes?
yes, remedies.
Remedies.
Yes. So in the apothecary trade, they require various ingredients that some of which are difficult to get in certain locations. One apothecary may make a potion or a salve that from ingredients that are ubiquitous in his area, but are unavailable to others in another city.
I see.
And so I think I felt that this was an area that is underserved, and we might be able to make a tidy profit in getting these various components to people who would be able to use them.
I see. Well, that's very interesting. And honestly, you say that you've already talked to Johann Staller, yes?
Yes.
Well, Johannes, you are courting my daughter. And if you succeed, you will be part of my family. While I appreciate Johann very much, and I don't know if you know, his daughter Eva is expecting a first child with that Kislevite boy, Radovic, I believe. So anyway,
congratulations to them.
Yes. But anyway, I would like for your business to mainly benefit our family. What would you say if I would be the one sponsoring you?
I would be very honored and grateful.
Excellent, he says. And but we shall discuss this possibly next time. And after that you finish the meal, and you have this feeling that he tests you with this every conversation. However, next time you met, it was like a few days later. It was the first time that Hannah was also present, and Hannah likes you. You have a feeling. You know, you are pleasant enough to look. You don't stink too much. You you are intelligent, obviously, and you have an actual trade in your hands. So you're not going to be this penniless loser. So during the dinner, where Hannah was present, the atmosphere was already much better, and for the next month, finally you were able to meet her, know her much better. Even being allowed on short walks to a nearby park. Of course, there was always an older woman present, chaperone, I believe that they call them. And this is a right hag. Like, she's mean. She even, when she first met you, she told you that you have any unwise ideas about young Lady Edberg, you have to deal with me. And you can see that even though she's an older woman, she's fairly well built. She has a knife. And she obviously means business. But yeah.
Well, so I had an idea for something. So after say a few weeks of that,
I'll be back in a sec.
Sure.
What I would like to do is to a mission, and I don't know how long it would take. Maybe I'd get it started earlier. To plan for this, plan for the time, to have some fancy lockets made. One with my picture painted in it, and one with her picture painted in it.
All right.
And then say, and then present to her, say, I got these, so this is so when we're not together, we can feel that we're not so far apart, and give her, the picture of me, and I show her the picture of her, and put it around my neck.
Yeah.
And while I do that, I bring a expensive scarf of some kind, silk, I don't know, whatever, something nice for the chaperone.
Kaffian silk, for example.
Yeah.
Or Arabian silk. All right.
Something. Yeah.
We'll discuss the price on next session.
Yeah.
We'll also be probably counting quite a few things when it comes to your next session. So for now, let's say, of course, that you can do this. You have funds to do this, no problem. She is, of course, very smitten by this, and she likes the gesture a lot, and she immediately calls her father. You have a feeling that I mean, you have a feeling you've been informed that her mother passed away sometime due to sickness. So of course she's daddy's girl. Herr Edberg is looking very pleased with your gesture, and he even tells you on the side that that only a real man acts like that, and that he honestly didn't thought that you would do something like this, but he's very pleased with that. And so next time your walks started becoming longer. Maybe you started holding hands. Of course, remember this is still not 16th century Germany, and you have a chaperone, so this is the extent of intimacy for you.
That's I got all the way to home base.
But
I got to hold her hand.
I will never wash this hand again.
Pretty much.
But fortunately also for you, Hannah is not dumb. She's not this spoiled brat. She's not also exactly the strong, independent woman. She's still rather focused on the traditional life. She even tells you that she would like to have a large group of children, and but she's been educated. She knows how to read and write. She knows Estalian language. She traveled abroad to Naun and Biggenhafen and Ubersreich. She's a socialite to some extent, having a relatively large circle of friends. She of course tells you that, well, nowadays I can't of course take Eva anywhere because she already has, she's expecting, so she's very worried about her baby, stuff like that.
Right.
But what I want to say to you, Johannes, is that your potential future wife is not an idiot. She also, and you can see that, and she even tells you that many times, she also admires what you did to Stallers, because Eva and her father told her and her father what happened. They told them about the necromancer, about what you did for them, and she tells you that she will be forever grateful for that. And this is where we end right now. This is the final part, and this is how you guys will know what are we going to do next. Like after 2 months, you are at the dinner, Johannes, with Anna and her father. Chaperone is sitting quietly in the corner, watching you with hawkish eyes. And Vilmar Edberg says, Johannes, my boy, tell me, would you feel confident enough to leave Altdorf for a while on a business trip that I would send you on?
Oh, I'd be humbled and honored to be your representatives.
You can
Edberg.
you can take your friends, the ones that you are running this establishment of yours with. I would suggest that you take them. You know, Reikland is a much safer place now, which you know is a fucking lie. But this man very rarely leaves his opulent house, so he doesn't know the truth of how the world works. But it's still you know, safety in numbers, and of course I will pay both you and them for a job well done. As for you, this will be let's say this will be the final test before I make you a partner in my business, so to speak. So I presume that you agree, yes?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
Excellent. Tell me, have you ever heard about this little town called Begenhafen? And this is where we end.
Oh.
Yep.
Sweet.
This is where we end.
Cue up the Narcos theme music.
Yeah. I've heard that there are lots of shadows there. Or sorry, over the town.
Yes.
No, but of course, you know, seriousness.
Sweet. I've never played it. Well, I mean, I've never played any of this before I started playing with you guys. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, just so we know, this is not going to be Shadows over Begenhafen, but it will be in Begenhafen, and there's it's going to be interesting. As for the enemy within the campaign, in the future, I'm not ruling this out, but remember, this is many year venture, so to speak. And it would have to be with completely different characters because it takes place like 20 years before our current playthrough. But yeah, next time, yes, you've heard right, we will start in Begenhafen. I mean, at least I assume that Gustav, Lambert and Lambert agree to
they're like, no, fuck this,
accompany Johannes. No, Johannes, you have your own session from now on. And Gaston, of course, Andy, if you will be available, then of course you are, you know, also very welcome to join.
Yeah, I mean, I still should have a little over another month. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the trip to Begenhafen, like the whole scenario adventure will probably be like 1-2 sessions max. Right now I want to make like more shorter scenarios than the one very lengthy like we had right now. Because I think that's going to be slightly more interesting. So of course, Gaston, this will be before your crusade to read the Ray quote of the, well, maybe not of all the beastmen, but this particular Brayherd. But
all right,
this will be next time.
I mean, all I was gonna say is I plan to play as long as I can until if that's okay with you guys. I don't know if
of course,
of course.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's one of those things where it happens, then you can, I don't know, I'm sure it can be written in that Gaston got called back or something to do something, or I don't know.
Probably, you know, a messenger from Altdorf will just appear and ask you to, you know, mate, the timetable changed. We are living right now. Yeah, but of course, I assume that Gaston, Lambert, and Gustav will accompany Johannes, especially when they hear that they will get paid for that. Details naturally will be next session. Also, for next session, I would like for all of you to read the business running part from the Old World Armory. Because, well, right now we will use those rules, simply put, and we will roll for those 2 months. I mean roll. I'm not even sure if we have to roll anything. We will see. how this works. I will also need to read about this because I've never used those rules in my games before. This is the first time, and I've been playing Warhammer for 15 plus years, so that's something. All right, as for the points, it's rather late here, and we've been playing for a long time. So to make those things fast and sweet, everyone gets 175 points for today's session.
175. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's quite a lot. Tell me just one last thing. Did you enjoy the scenario that we played? The Crimson Shade?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sean, sorry. Go ahead, because I
was going to say I also enjoyed this sort of in between scenarios kind of stuff.
You mean like what's in Delta Green, the downtime between operations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really wanted to use that to show that it's not only about constant adventuring and traveling. That sometimes you need to do mundane stuff like pay taxes and meet girls, stuff like that. I think that many Warhammer adventures and campaigns and scenarios, they don't include that. Now, interesting fact: the scenario with the Crimson Shade was completely 100% originally made. Please don't steal. And most of it was made on the fly. For example, at the beginning, I didn't even thought that there would be dark elves present. I really wanted to make this about the drug trade, but then I started having other ideas and thoughts. So yeah, it was
pretty awesome.
I mean, it was also I did it because I also want to see if I would be able to pull it off, this improvisation thingy.
Yeah.
And there are a few things that I would probably do differently or maybe not do at all, but without patting myself too much on the back, I think it went rather well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, but next, just so we know, next scenarios will be pre-generated. The one that we are going to play will be probably from the Armory, actually, from Sigmar's Earth, the book.
Okay.
There's a scenario at the end, but we shall see. Anyway, 175 for everyone. Thank you for the game, and next time it's either 20th of October.
Should be fine for me, I think.
Crap. Sorry, no, I'm just trying to get to my calendar, and I'm opening up my mail instead.
Yeah, I actually cannot. Oh wait, that's a Sunday.
Yeah,
it's a Sunday.
It's my son's birthday. We're doing a party the day before. I don't know if we're doing anything the day of.
Yeah, I actually have a similar thing. It's my mother-in-law's birthday on the 20th. But
I gotta go pick
doing
up my
something on
son. Y'all go ahead and suss this out, and I'll
later,
put you
dude.
in on
Okay.
Discord later.
Sure thing.
Boys.
Later, Michael.
See you.
Alright.
Bye.
the 20th. So yeah, I mean, I think I could do the 20th, but if you can't, yeah, that's
Okay, so if we want to be on the safer side, we can just go with 27th.
27th, or
Yeah.
I think I'm free next weekend too.
13. I mean, I am available next weekend, but I'm not sure if the rest of you are, because 26th and 27th, we will have. I don't know if you guys have it in the States. It's called pregnancy school.
okay.
Where they teach you
Sorta, yeah.
the skills, but of course, it will be 5 hours probably, but I should have evenings free. And on 19th, for example, it's my birthday, so I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean,
either 27th or 13. That's for me.
I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
As far as I know, any of those dates will work. So I mean, whatever works for you guys. Since you have
I'd
some
rather
stuff.
get an extra session in next weekend or something, because I know we have a break coming up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Why don't we pencil in 13th?
yeah, pencil in 13th. Can one of you please, because I need to step away from the PC for a moment, write on the Discord and ask Michael if he's fine with 13th. I will be much obliged, and yeah, and also remember that we, even though there will be a break, we are not stopping.
Yeah.
If
Just trying to get some extra gaming in before the holidays, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Holiday season is always tricky. Sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. If we do the 13th, you think maybe we could start like an hour earlier?
Yeah, I can, because I can.
Would that be okay?
I have the whole weekend free, so we can start an hour earlier without any problems for me.
Okay. And that way we end at it'd be my time 2 or 2:30. Like an hour earlier too. But,
Sure.
Essentially.
Sure.
Yeah.
No worries. Okay, so 13th, an hour earlier. Unless something changes, unless something changes, then we are all set. Thank you guys for the game very much. It was very cool, and next time, Begenhafen.
All right.
Thanks.
See you.
Good game, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, good game.
Excellent.
Later, guys.
Bye bye.